We would have SummerSlam where one was at the Ruins.
One was at Jerky's, one was at Clubhouse.
Exactly. You can look up Goodbye Dolly on Pure Volume, and I will come to your house and find you.
Shout out the Meat
Shout
Locker.
out Meat Locker.
What a hellhole.
We're going to talk about Scared Don't Fear.
Yes, very good. I didn't have a beer can to crack today, so here we are. And it's time, children, and moreover, probably adults.
Probably no children.
Probably not children.
I'd have to imagine no children.
Turn this off now.
No, I'm not letting my son watch this.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
no.
You don't want
this.
none of that.
Frog Guy can watch.
It's rock bottom.
We'll sit all the kids down at once. They'll all watch it together.
Yeah,
Exactly.
we'll do a kids episode.
We'll fuck them all up.
That sounds
We'll fuck them all
bad.
up at
I'm
once.
stopping here.
Sounds good.
Nick,
I don't even know what I'm talking about.
You do.
It's been a day. It's been a year. It's been a life. It is Spotify Wrapped season,
It's been a hell of a-
is.
it's been a hell of a
which
decade
we will talk about it probably
are
in a
we gonna
minute,
do?
right?
We
We can
gotta
talk
do
about
our
that.
Spotify
Oh, yeah.
rap.
today.
yeah.
Mine was hilarious.
We got our boy Joe Auger in the house.
What's up,
do.
guys?
What's
We
the
do.
happening?
Thank you.
We're
What's
gonna
the
talk
happening?
about-
Very good.
What's
Yeah.
the happening?
We're going to talk
Everything
about
is the
Scared
happening.
Don't Fear.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
We can throw it back.
I know. Yeah. Started in 2008 in a basement. It actually took me places I never thought that it would ever take me.
Can we just 2008? You
2008.
didn't say this dude didn't just say 2008.
2008.
This dude just
Tattooed on
said
my hand.
2008.
Brother, I know.
I'm
We're
gonna dive
talking
old age.
about 16 years ago, bro. Like 60, a full.
That makes me feel old as
This is-
fuck.
That's nuts, dude. That's
It's okay. I started when I was 13.
Oh, God.
14.
That wasn't my
so-
first band.
Yeah. Well,
I
actually,
started
well, yeah.
around that
For
same
just
time.
this one, yeah, amazing. So 16 years ago, Joe started a band.
Me and Frankie Spockus.
What was? Can I?
Go ahead.
Can I?
Yeah.
Okay.
By all means,
So
go
like,
for it.
it's such an interesting band that I wonder so much, and I've always wondered how it came together. And like, how did you
I'll tell
guys
you
start
exactly.
off as rock rap, or like
All right.
how did the pieces come together?
Sit down, kiddies. I'm about to tell you a story.
Love it. All right, let's go.
So basically, Frankie Spockus and I, shout out Frankie, always. We had this idea. We played music with our buddy Jimmy Caputo. I don't know if he'll ever see this, but Jim, thank you. He's the one who taught me how to play bass. I never picked up an instrument ever. And
Bass, he says.
Bass. This kid handed me a bass that was not mine, and I learned "Dazed and Confused" by Zeppelin. Mm-hmm. And
Classic start.
That was how. Yeah, that was how it all
Yep.
started. So we were playing in this little 3-piece band that we called Goodbye Dolly. I don't know if any of y'all ever heard of that. You probably shouldn't, and don't go look it up. I please. Okay. So it was like an alternative. It was like an alternative kind of emo band. All right, because all the this was probably around 2007 or so. So all the screamo emo stuff was
Shirts
hitting.
were tight.
The Armor for Sleep. Oh, shirts were super tight.
Jeans were tight.
That does sound familiar. I'm trying to think.
We were
because I
a
was
3
playing
piece
around that time.
Did you have
probably
hair?
Were.
Yeah.
What's that?
Did you have hair?
I did at the time.
Like
yes.
scene hair?
Oh, super.
Yeah.
Super,
Shit.
bro.
Hell yeah.
I had the Sonny Moore at one point, but we're not going to talk
Hell yeah,
about
brother.
Dude, that was everybody.
Absolutely.
As was the
Yeah.
style at the time.
it. Yeah. So, we had this 3-piece band called Goodbye Dolly. I'll give you some insight on the name. So
Goodbye, Dolly.
I'll tell you where
You
it came
better
from.
give me some fucking insight on that name right now.
It was created by me
Okay.
and Frankie. But,
okay. So this band included Frankie.
yes.
Okay.
He was the drummer / lead singer.
Okay.
Yes, so
that's
he-
that's interesting.
He sang and drummed at the same time.
Yeah. He sang. They weren't talking rapping. Or,
No, singing.
Screaming.
Like an emo
Wow.
band.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah. I don't know him as a
yeah,
singer.
Yeah, no, that's the first thing he did. That
The
and
Atreyu
drums.
style.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. So it was like an alternative band. It was us. We were a 3-piece. Me on bass. I did some backing vocals, a little bit of screams and stuff like that. And also Frank was the drummer / singer, and my buddy Jimmy Caputo was the lead and only guitar player in that band. And it was just like a backyard band, dude. Like we would play for his parents, like at birthday parties and like his family members and stuff like that.
You play covers?
No, we played all original stuff.
Really?
Yeah, it sucked, but it
Hum
was
me
all
a
original
tune.
stuff.
Hum me one tune. Hum me.
No. If you guys really want to know, all right, there is a website still around called Pure Volume. You can look up
Oh,
Goodbye
man.
Dolly on Pure Volume, and I will come to your house and find you if you do it. I swear.
God, pure volume.
He'll know.
You
Zach,
want to talk about like
Zach,
dating
insert
ourselves?
a clip, will you?
Yep, we are old in this room.
We're
okay.
Pure Volume or
Yeah.
Reverb Nation
Yes,
years old.
Exactly. Sound click.
I hate to
Get
say
the
that I'm
fuck out of
well
my
before
house.
All right,
that.
see you
old,
guys.
so,
That's
like,
the show.
Get
It's
out
been
of my
great.
house.
Yeah. So
I officially dated myself.
that
on
was
podcasting.
that
I was posting
the,
my bands in AOL Messages. And
Oh,
Yeah, absolutely.
my God,
absolutely.
yes.
Same. So that was the
talk
inception.
about old.
That was the inception of me starting to play music. They handed me a bass. Hey, we're going to start this band. We need a bass player. I don't know what I'm doing, guys. I've only had
That's how we got
experience.
Zach.
I was an accidental bass player. Also, I
Ah,
feel like most
isn't
of
that
us
the
are.
best?
Most of us are like we're all accidents.
It wasn't. It's never on purpose. It's
Yeah,
never
yeah, yeah.
on purpose. All right,
Yeah.
shout
somebody
out bass players.
somebody needed one.
I was an
Yeah.
accidental guitar player.
I was the worst
That's
guitar
even
player
better,
of my friend group. Still
Yeah,
am.
yeah. So obviously that band didn't really do much. We did a few open mic nights here and there. I think that was as far out as that band went. And then it was just me and Frankie. The kid Jim Caputo went out, on his own, and I still got mad love for him. But he's just did his own thing as a filmmaker. You can check him out, Blue Mist.
He had other things to do.
Yeah, absolutely. So it was me and Frankie now. And we're like, fuck, we love all these bands that are screaming and even rapping. And you know what I mean? Because I think that was way before Broken Side. So there was nothing that had even happened like this yet.
If you're
know what I
of a
mean?
certain age group, you might not even know what the fuck that is. But
You're absolutely right.
That is crazy if you think about what a fucking chokehold
Yeah.
that shit had
Oh,
on
yeah.
like people of our kind of relative
Yes.
age group.
Yes.
Yeah.
By the
Like,
balls.
Dude, that is the most insane shit. And-
By
and-
the
and
balls.
These goddamn kids don't know fucking
No.
shit about fuck, dude.
No, they don't.
They
You
don't
don't
know
know
shit
shit about Disneyland or shit about nothing. All right.
I learned an interesting fact about Disneyland. So Disneyland
I
is
learned
LA.
this today too. I was
Right?
today years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, that day I
and,
saw that
and
thing on
Disney
Facebook. The
World is
abbreviation.
Orlando because ORL is in.
Yes.
So
I never knew that. I was
continue.
today
I'm
years
sorry.
old when I
had
learned
to.
that.
That's what I'm good for.
I always forget which one it is. I don't know. I can't.
Orlando is on our side.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
Disney World.
No, I know where our fucking Orlando is, motherfucker.
Yo.
Thank you.
Disney
Yo.
World is ORL in it, so that's Orlando.
Yes, that's how you
And
differentiate the
Disneyland
two.
is LA in it, so it's
Jeez.
Yeah,
This is your like talking about the Creed 6 feet from the
Everybody's
edge
right.
moment right now.
hold me now.
Oh, dude.
Listen.
Yeah.
Don't
Listen.
continue because
We can't get back up. We cannot get back on this.
No,
I can't.
no,
I'm
no,
about
no.
to go
I'm
off
dead
Way
in
too
it
early
right
in the episode
now.
for
Yeah.
a fucking tangent like this.
Absolutely.
6 feet
So,
from the edge.
Frankie Spackus and I, it was just us two now. No band. We're going to all these shows, seeing bands
Okay.
like Bless the Fall,
Okay,
Attack
you're
Attack.
about how old?
Oh God, probably not even 18 yet.
You're going to shows where?
Going to shows at the Palladium,
Palladium,
the Living Room,
Century
Lounge. You
fucking
motherfuckers
Lounge,
have no
aka
idea
Askew,
what the
right?
Century
Is that
Lounge.
I don't even
where
know what Century
Askew
Lounge
is?
is.
Yeah, you're
Or
too young
was?
for that.
Yeah,
Poppy.
I actually don't know.
You might be right about. I'm
All
not
y'all
100%,
real
but you might
motherfuckers.
be
Pretty
right.
sure
The
that was the
Century
Century
Lounge. I saw
Lounge.
Paramore there.
Damn.
When they were nothing.
Yeah,
I saw
a lot
some
of
of my
nothings
favorite bands there.
become, Yeah.
It was crazy. So
Amazing.
we're going to shows like this, and we're like, "Fuck, man, I really want to do this. This is all I want to do." But it's just the two of us. You know what I mean? So
Just the two of us.
right. I prefer the Eminem version, but we'll talk about that later.
Both are great, so
right.
I don't want to hear.
So
you know.
now we're like, fuck, we got to start something. So I had an illegal copy. Sorry, Image Line. I had an illegal copy of
fine.
FL Studio.
The statute of limitations is probably up on
Absolutely.
that one.
Yeah.
On software
Yep,
piracy
I
from
had no- I had
2006.
no-
I think you're
illegal
fine if
copy
you download it
of-
through LimeWire. You're
When it
fine.
was-
Tells me they're over it.
When it was still called Fruity Loops.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
All
Fruity
right, so I
Loops.
had an illegal copy of Fruity Loops on my computer, and I just started making these like scene core beats, I guess you can call them. And we were like, "Yo, we're sending them on AOL Instant Messenger, back and forth." Me and
That's
Frankie
the junk.
Spalkus, and we're like, "Dude, we got to do something to these." Like, and we ended up just recording. Oh my god, I don't even remember what we used to even record these. It was probably like a not even an SM57, like the shittiest mic you could ever imagine.
Something from Radio Shack, possibly.
Literally
Might
Radio
actually be.
Shack. Like had his dad take us.
I know
there.
we had Caruso and I's old band at that point. We definitely there was Radio Shack AV equipment in the
Oh, yeah.
in his
Yeah, like a Radio
his grandma's
Shack brand
basement
mic.
at that point for
Yeah.
sure.
So
Well,
like,
you're lucky. You
Again,
got that
Radio
far.
Shack, fuck man.
yeah.
I had a straight up tape recorder in the fucking middle of the room.
Yeah.
We were just like, Good luck.
Yeah.
Whatever audio quality you get, you
I've
fucking get, brother.
done that.
We've my old black metal band that we covered. We cut a demo with and this was like around the same time, like 07 or so, 08 maybe. We hung a rock band mic from the middle of the garage.
That'll do it. Yeah.
Well, that's just accurate to the genre, though.
Just to get the room. And
I believe it.
He put it in a like a soda bot, like a 30 rack of soda.
What the fuck?
Like just to pop filter.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Yep.
And that was the demo. It was
That's awesome.
It was the rock band vocal mic just hung from the rafters
Nice.
of his garage.
Hilarious.
And that
was
guy's a white
probably so
supremacist now.
majestic.
Garage Inc.
It was probably so cool though when you were that age.
Yeah.
And like having that. Oh, the rock man! Take out the rock band mic.
Oh,
Here
hell
we
yeah.
go.
Oh,
we
time
knew
to record
Hell
tonight.
yeah.
We knew it was incredibly, slapdash. We were like, this
Slap and
isn't,
tickle.
this is not great, but it is what we have, and
Yeah.
it's better than. And that's a good. And there you go. That was a good life lesson early on.
Good enough for
that
government work.
that we've imposed of just like, all right, well, don't get precious about it. Just put it out. You
Yeah.
know, like what's that like thing? Like nothing's ever done. You just abandon it.
Yeah.
So that's
absolutely.
And if you don't just start abandoning things at some point, you're never going to put anything out, for better or worse, in that situation.
That's how we treat Ruggiero.
But
Anyway, let me just because we'll be here all night if I have to keep stopping.
That's true.
There's a lot. So I was making these beats. We were going back and forth on AOL Instant Messenger. Like, dude, we got to do something to this. You know what I mean? And then it was basically the idea was just to have him and I just scream parts over these beats, and we were going back and forth. I think we went on name generators, you know, back in those times, or whatever the case may be, or just wrote a ton of them down. I'm talking 100. You know what I mean? And Scare Don't Fear was the name that we picked. There were a few others. I think we had Second Story Tragedy. Before that was like
of the time for sure.
for sure, dude.
Yeah.
And I've never even said that band name on record ever. But that
Exclusive.
Would not have sucked for the time, though, honestly.
no,
Would not have sucked for the time.
no. So then the Scare Don't Fear name was born, and we would hang out at our buddy Larry Orsini's house, who was a friend of the family. Of Frankie's.
Larry O.
Yep, who's doing very well. Shout out fucking Larry O. Doing very well. He's an FL Studio power user. They don't just hand those out. So shout out Larry O. We keep in touch a lot. Much love for Larry. But we were hanging out at his house, which was like the party house, because he was the only one over 21. You know what I mean? And I did drink back in those days. I do not now, and I will not. But
Heard that.
yeah, for sure. That was the party house to go to as he cracks a beer. That was the party house to go to. Like, there were 30 racks and beer pong, and that was the place. And Larry would make his beats downstairs because he's a way better producer than I ever could be when it comes to that. It's just, he's on a whole nother level. So he would be making his beats downstairs, and we would show him the Scare Don't Fear stuff, and we're like, oh, dude, if there was a way we can mesh all this together. But it was just us, and obviously during the parties, guys like Chris Jungles, Travis Bahia, who I don't even know if you guys might not know Trav. He was
Travis, I know.
He was part of the Scare Don't Fear movement from the very beginning, but he unfortunately parted ways with us before we started hitting it and touring. But shout out Trav. I actually ran into him at a Spirit Halloween the day before Halloween, buying a Huggy Wuggy costume for my son.
No shit.
Yeah. Shout out Trav. Yeah. So it was just a bunch of us dudes hanging out at parties, and Larry had the space. It was like a finished basement type deal. It was like his bedroom, and then we had the boiler room where Frankie's drum set was. And Larry made beats, so he just figured out how to play drums by making beats, which is the same way I learned how to play drums as well. So it ended up being like, hey, man, Larry, get on the drums. Joe, bring your guitar over. I took out my first ever credit card on creditcard.com when I was 18 years old to get this guitar that I never paid off. My dad took the credit card from me. But if it wasn't for that, I would have never had my first Ibanez RG 120.
Oh, yeah. That sounds, I think that sounds like maybe our old band, our guitar player.
Yep.
I think same guitar probably.
Had
sounds
the
about
whole
right.
Guitar Center Raven half stack.
Oh,
Yep,
get the
I
fuck
have one
out.
of them too.
Oh,
those are
you
the
bet your
fucking-
ass you did.
I have one of them too.
I
If this
loved
was
it.
a gear pod,
The Raven.
We could put up an hour easy of
On
just
the Raven.
shitting on those horrific things.
Yeah.
Dude, mine blew out on me on stage in the middle of a song.
I think mine did
Yeah,
too.
the only other guy that I know that ever owned a Raven, his also blew up mid game.
Yeah,
was-
you don't own a Raven and have it survive.
Dude,
Yeah.
I was featuring on a
Quote the
cover,
Raven.
and it blew out on stage.
Nevermore.
Nice. Yeah.
So-
never
Shout
fucking
out
more.
Raven for being the
Yeah.
shittiest fucking amp
Shout
ever.
Yeah.
out to them.
All of the Line 6 and crate hate
I've
in the
never
world
even heard of them.
should be
That's
credited
all
at
I've
Raven.
Not missing nothing.
exactly.
But I will say, if it wasn't
Dead
for
and
that,
fucking buried, dude.
Scared Don't Fear probably would have never played out if it wasn't for that Raven. So there you go.
Well, thank you, Raven, for Skate
Yeah.
on Fear.
Same for Shadow, so that's fair.
Yeah, so we were just jamming in the basement, and we wrote our first song. You know what I mean? Chris Jungles, who ended up being our second vocalist, the rapper. Him and Frankie would work together.
Love Jungles.
Yep.
Shout out Jungles.
Shout out Chris
Big
Jungles,
time.
man. That's
and
another.
Frankie, too, didn't mean to not, but
No,
Frankie
absolutely.
as well,
Shout
yeah.
out Chris Jungles.
Frankie.
And
I
Larry.
haven't talked to Frankie in
What a
years.
group
He's
you
doing
had.
the whole
What a
Fight
group.
Life thing right now.
I know.
The pro wrestling promotion. And shout out to him. You know what I mean?
Love that.
He was working with my cousin for a while with the XWA thing.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
Antonucci.
Yeah.
Yep, that's my guy. I
Yeah.
love Mike Phoenix.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Phoenix
Yes,
is
sir.
my guy.
Yeah, you got a wrestling.
Oh yeah,
Family
XWA,
member?
man. I was there for many of those events. I worked them. I brought my son. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
As always, I'm outnumbered.
Met Bret the Hitman Hart because of that.
Same.
Met Mick Foley because of that.
Yep,
You know
I
what
was at
mean?
that
I
event.
brought him in the room. I brought him in the room. You know what I mean? So it all started us jamming in a basement. Excuse me. Shouldn't have had tacos, I guess. I'm sorry.
No,
But-
you should've.
Where'd you get 'em?
definitely should've.
Oh, Taco Bell.
Okay. Well, you know what?
Had to be quick.
Once in a while, you got to get the evil in there. You
Had
know,
to
that's-
be quick.
Yeah.
I
You know what I
broke
mean?
and got McDonald's
you broke
today.
McDonald's edge.
And I realized, and I don't want to go off on a tangent. I won't, okay? But, like, it's amazing how successful McDonald's is and how, like, they have, like, 5 things you can get.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
They literally have, like, 5
I know.
things. I'm like, oh,
I know.
maybe I'll get some variety today. It's like, would you want a Big Mac or a chicken Big Mac?
I'll
or
do a
fucking-
McDouble.
Dude, never fucking forget what they took away from us with that all day breakfast shit. Because that's the
Yeah,
only
that's
I
true.
don't eat McDonald's
Yeah.
like ever.
Yeah.
But
Wait, they don't do all day
but-
breakfast anymore?
No, they haven't done it since COVID.
Stops at 11.
Travesty.
Stops at
10:30.
11.
I'll tell you
Like
what.
most places. Yeah.
I'll tell you
me.
what. Here's what takes the crown for a breakfast sandwich for a fast food place is that steak. I don't know if you had that steak sandwich they do.
No.
Yeah, McDonald's is a steak.
It's hard to get away from the McGriddle,
steak
man.
breakfast
Yeah.
sandwich. It's fucking so good.
Yeah?
and
The
it's
ste-
so
that-
bad. It's
that
so, it's
steak was, like,
it
intimidating.
feels like you're drinking grease as
Oh,
you're eating it. But
I was gonna say
it's
that's
so
got to be like dog
good.
meat fucking
Oh, yeah.
steak though. That's got to be
good.
terrible.
Listen, don't knock it until you try it.
Because
I'm a sucker
because
for the McRib.
As far as
so
I'm
not gonna talk
concerned,
shit.
the McGriddle is the
The
perfect.
McRib is
culinary-
literally like
Steak,
a
egg,
pork
and cheese,
butthole,
I'm
though.
telling you.
It's fine.
Get on.
It's fine.
Real guys eat ass.
Can't be that much.
I guess McRibs count.
that does count.
They are
More
definitely.
people are eating ass these days than ever before.
Yeah, nah. I'm gonna have.
That's
to,
why the McRib keeps coming back.
I'm gonna have to say
It's almost
nah.
taboo not to eat ass. You know what
I'm
I'm
gonna have
saying?
to say no. I'm not doing that.
So anyway, how's Frankie doing?
Yeah, yeah. So he's doing the whole Fight Life thing, right? So we're in a basement. We're playing music together. We're like,
Yes.
we should start a fucking band. You know what I mean? This is it. This is what we've been waiting for. So we
At
had.
this point, Jungles was in on it?
Yes, yep.
Okay.
Jungles and Trav. Trav was Jungles' hype man. So we had 3 vocalists at one point.
Shit.
For years in the beginning stages
Yeah, I
of
feel
Scared
like
Don't
I know
Fear.
that,
You
yeah.
you should, yeah. So like that was it. We wrote our first song, which was on our first record. You can still find somewhere on YouTube. Pick Up the Patterns. That was the first record. We did it with my motherfucking boy Chris Sabansky in some kind of industrial hardware shop space that he was renting. You know what I mean?
I still have a copy.
Do you really?
I still have a hard
you still
copy.
have that? Wow. See that?
I have a copy of Monster, I think, too. No, what that's
Blinded.
the song. Blinded. Yeah.
Yes, we'll get
That's
there.
The track name, yeah.
We'll get there.
I got a copy.
That was
I think I still have that one. I know I pick up the patterns. Though.
yeah. So Pick Up the Patterns was the first record. We wrote our first song, Fresher Than You, which is about 3 chords. You know what I mean? It was in drop D.
That's all you need.
Yeah, drop D.
How many
3
fingers?
chords.
this
How many
now?
fingers you
What
need to play in
year
drop
are we
D?
entering?
1. What's that,
What
Mike?
year are we entering? How old are you? What's
We're
going on?
entering 2008 now.
And you're,
And God, my age, that's escaping me. Okay.
okay.
I am 35 now. That's all you get. That's all you need to know.
That put you at 19.
Okay. See? There you go.
Quick math. That's what
Just got my first tattoo then.
Don't shake your head at me.
Someone's gotta.
Don't
I
shake
didn't
your
get
head at
my
me.
first tattoo till like 26.
On my 18th
Really?
birthday. 18th birthday, me and my dad got matching tattoos.
Oh.
Yep. So that's something that's special to me because he is no longer here. He's been
approve,
gone
I
for
approve.
over 12 years.
Yeah.
So, like, we had a band now. We wrote our first song. We did a record with Chris Sabansky. We did Pick Up the Patterns, and then we just started. Frankie started to get into booking. You know what I mean? We played Club Hell a lot. You know what I mean?
Club Hell.
Good old
with the
Club
Steve
Hell.
Yes,
Yes,
R.I.P.
sir.
We did not know what we had until
No,
we did
Oh,
not.
we did.
we knew what we had.
Oh, we
but-
knew,
but
but now
People
we
say
really
when it
things
was
did
gone,
know.
you
but
really
I don't
did.
care. I don't
Yeah,
care
yeah.
that it's gone. I'm sorry. I'd rather have
It
the
was a-
living room. I'd rather have
Oh,
the
me
living
too.
room 9,
Me too.
10 out of 10 times.
Yep.
Me too,
over
because I
Club
never
Hell.
played there.
You never played the living
Club
room.
Hell. Listen, if they
I
could come
went
back
there
and have
once.
clean floors,
Really?
I'm telling
Oh,
you,
I've
those
d-
floors
many
were
times.
sticky, man.
Oh, they were gross,
They were
100%.
sticky, and it felt. I don't know.
The floors were gross.
Being in
yes.
like the bottom
the pole
floor
on the
felt
stage
kinda
wasn't convenient.
cramped
No,
out.
it was not.
But I played on that motherfucking stage. I
Oh.
opened up for D. Schneider's
yeah.
son there.
They knew how to change over into a
And I
dance
played
night
drums.
like none other.
Sound there was good. I
was
I
good.
remember that the
Yes.
sound was good.
Yep,
Like
saw Armor for Sleep there.
Oh,
saw
yeah.
Chiodo. Saw some of my favorite bands there. Change of Pace. Like
Yeah.
all
Ella
of those.
played there.
no
a
door on the
Skylit Drive.
bathroom, dude.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Watch out.
No urinal after a point either. You're,
No.
you're sticking your dink into an open drainage pipe in full view of the entire club.
Yeah.
After a certain point in that place's
yeah.
lifespan.
Yep.
Oh,
which
yeah.
is always
Oh yeah.
a pleasure.
We
of course.
Scare Don't Fear actually played a show. This is like when it all started. Becoming a thing. We played a show at Columbus Theater. Was it Broadway? Providence.
Yes.
We played a show at Columbus Theater, and that was like our first official show. It was we had no bass player.
So what is like what show did you play for your like who's playing? Like what,
It was just us.
who was it for?
It was like this talent show.
Okay, that's
thing.
what I'm saying. It's
Okay.
like, 'cause you mentioned it was Columbus Theater, and I'm like, okay, what
It was like a
this?
local
I need
artist
to know more
spotlight type deal that
Yeah,
somehow we
okay.
were able to finagle our way on it.
Yeah, that's kind of
You know what I mean?
how you
And it
do
was just
yeah.
it was our vocalists, our drummer, and just me playing guitar. There was no bass. We didn't have a bass player yet.
Cardinal sin.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. The low end was non-existent. But that started it, you know what I mean? And after, God, the machine started rolling, we ended up getting bass players. And obviously, you never just have one bass player. You go through a bunch of bass players.
Ironically, I'm playing with one now.
There you go. See? So, yeah. And it just ended up being, big Club Hell shows, big fucking Lupo shows. We opened, I think it was 08 or I want to say this was 09. We opened Vanna and Therefore I Am there at Lupo's.
I remember that.
That was there was probably 1,200. You know what I mean? It was the biggest show, and it was like our first really big show.
Therefore, I am
Yeah. Vanna, Therefore I Am. Maybe a Lost for Words, too.
the receiving end of sirens, maybe.
Possibly. They played the living room a lot. And yeah, Scare Don't Fear was on that bill. So,
Scared Don't Fear.
yep.
Love it.
That is how it all came to be. And
that's how it all came to be,
lasted,
folks.
It lasted a long time.
Yeah. Scare Don't Fear. SDF.
Yep.
Oh my God.
We
So
played
we're in it
Jerky's a
now.
bunch of fucking
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
Jerky's was a
together-
place
you-
that
yeah, you-
SDF played frequently.
Yeah, 100%. I
I would
definitely
say-
played a bunch with you guys there.
Yeah, so did I.
Yep.
In my first 2 years booking shows with Rambuticon, I'd say that I didn't really, host Scare Don't Fear that much.
You didn't because Frankie had Scene Machine.
Well, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying is I always did try to respect the Scene Machine and try to
Yeah.
not step on the toes and whatever. But I will say that when I got a little more established and I started throwing bangers,
Yeah.
Seamus banger after
Banger after banger.
yeah, but
After banger.
we would
After
what was that I
banger.
said? I'm high. Basically, what was I saying? What were we talking
Something
about?
about smoke up your own ass. I don't know.
Booking conflicts
Yeah.
of guys from
Scene Machine,
Book it, Scare Don't Fear.
Budokan, when you first were starting, didn't really
Once
have,
I
you didn't
eventually
host us.
started throwing good shows, like I remember there was a day where, and then it happened more and more, where Frankie was like, "Yo, you ever want us to play on one of your shows? Let me know."
Yeah,
Like he was
yeah.
generous, and like he,
Yep.
at the time, I realized that it was a pretty good deal. Like he'd hop on things for like $100. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
right,
like,
right,
just, like
yeah.
something to, like, you know what I mean? But and that's when I was like, wow, my shows are cool enough that Frankie wants to play them.
Right.
That was
Yeah.
cool to me.
Right.
You know what I mean? I
You were
always
like
felt
the only other guy at the time that was,
Yeah.
doing
'Cause
stuff that
when I came
was on
into
that
the
caliber.
scene, I was learning everything from Richard Collier, but I was
Yeah, Keno
watching.
Rich. Shout
I
out
was
Rich from
watching Frankie because I thought that he was really put together.
Oh, he was.
I remember when
He
I
was.
was-
He was a well-oiled machine with that.
I just remember Constance Alive. That band.
Yeah, I remember them.
Yep.
I remember.
Amazing.
They
I
were
was
always on
imagine.
Frankie shows.
That's why I'm
They were
here.
always on Frankie
Them.
shows.
I
for
would
real.
have never been here unless I was literally working in Boston, never going to do music again. And they called me to manage them. I started going to their shows,
Uh-huh.
and I managed them.
Yeah.
And I put them on a Scene Machine show, and I remember
Oh, no
settling
shit.
out with Frankie and stuff. And he was very professional.
Yeah, no,
and I
great
really did
dude.
like it.
Frankie, he gave my bands back then sucked.
What was it? Shadow of a Doubt.
Yeah,
Right? Yeah, I remember.
Dude, you're fucking horrible,
I
dude.
remember.
That guy gave us so many fucking chances and just he
Man.
gave us so many.
But you guys
shows
brought
and-
people. You had the energy. You played.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like,
Pa-
was it your
pass
first
this to
band?
the mystery
You know what I mean?
man behind the
You know, he gave us so many freaking opportunities. And,
Oh, yeah.
like,
Oh, okay,
motherfucker.
all right. Okay.
He was
Oh,
the guy to go to, to get those opportunities, and he would give them to just about anybody.
100%. And he, he definitely he made it worth it too. He never gave you a hard time about anything. Like I booked exclusively.
Don't worry, it's a low THC. Good.
That can't be too
It's like
hot.
at 20%.
I booked exclusively with him for years until honestly until probably about 2014. I think was when we met.
That's when we went on. Work.
Honestly,
Yeah.
nothing but love. Nothing but love.
Absolutely,
Always.
nothing but love.
From
Always
me,
for
you know what I
Frankie.
mean? For me
He'll always be a
personally.
part of my family, even though we don't talk a lot. When we do talk, it's like fucking. You know what I mean? It's like we never left. So shout out
I
Frankie.
remember.
Frankie's got a guest spot on the podcast
Listen.
if he wants one.
I'm gonna insert a story into this, and it's like I remember when I was booking Consulate, they got booked on a show that he did, right?
Okay. Yep.
And it was like one. It was like a 3-venue thing all at once, and it was like one show was at
It was
like,
probably SummerSlam.
Yeah.
We would have SummerSlam where one was at the Ruins,
One was at Jerky's, one was at Club Hell.
Exactly.
I
Yeah,
we
bro.
booked the whole
dude.
block.
Yep,
The
I played one of
fucking-
those. That was
that,
great.
Ruins.
That
Yes.
was sick.
We used
that
to
was
love-
so sick.
Stop
We used
the
to draw the
madness.
fuck out of the Ruins.
Yep.
Like you were probably there.
Yep,
You know what
I played one of them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
I
used
played
to
in the
draw
Ruins.
the fuck out of that place.
Mm-hmm.
dude.
Played the ruins many times.
Yep, that was one of the
Holy
coolest
shit,
events,
what a
dude.
spot.
I wish that shit like that still happened.
It doesn't
so people
now.
like
It can't.
People like
No.
Frankie were the ones that like. Sure, there was Richard Collier that like
Yeah,
taught me
Keno-
a lot of
that-
things about booking.
he
did
was
the
the
dollars
pioneer,
and cents,
man.
the dollars and cents and the money shit. Like Richard really, helped me a lot. But when it came to like being like, wow, like. I could really do whatever I want with this, and I could make shows kind of like I could make a show anything I want it to be.
Collier was
That's what I
super-
got from Frankie. Frankie
Yeah,
taught me
yep.
that I could go outside the box as a promoter and do some
And
cool
not
things.
sit there and work the door the entire time. Like
Yeah,
Collier was a
yeah.
very by the book guy, and I
Oh
got
my
nothing
God.
to love but for him because he's helped me a lot throughout the career that I've had. But like he's very by the book, you know what I mean? And
He's
Frankie
hiding
was
in
just
the corner
different.
somewhere.
Frankie
Love
had
you,
this
Richard,
hybrid.
but it's true.
Yeah. Oh, it's
Not even
true.
a
It's
promoter
damn
anymore, I
true.
don't think so. It doesn't even matter. But
Frankie had this hybrid
because he got a little calf.
look at it, you know what I mean? And the way he did it just worked. You know what I mean? So we were playing all the Scene Machine shows,
Yeah.
and we were local. We were still writing music, and we got. I think it all started when we were looking for management. You know what I
Okay.
mean? We ended up signing with the Outer Loop Management Company,
Oh, yeah.
which has
Oh, yeah.
some of everyone's favorite
Yep,
bands on that.
Outer loop.
Shout out Mike Mowry. That's the dude.
So
That's the guy.
once that happened, it was like, okay, well, if we're going to shop you guys around, you guys are going to need a professional record. You know what I mean? You can't shop around this Pick Up the Patterns demo that was recorded in a basement, basically. You know what I mean? It was still great, but like we can't shop this professionally. So like, okay, we're going to hook you up with Cameron Mazzell at Chango Studios in Orlando. He just did Sleeping with Sirens. You know what I mean? And we're like, okay, we don't sound like Sleeping with Sirens, though. You know what I mean? We're a hip-hop metal band. And he was like, nah, dude, he's open. He's totally cool. Okay. Then we get down there. We're in Orlando, and we tell him we play in drop A. And he's like, fuck. I fucking... on 6 strings, bro.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I fucking hate this. But nah. So we ended up doing Blinded, our first full length. We did Blinded. I think it was 7 tracks. You can call it in a full length or an EP. You know what I mean? 7 or 8 tracks. And we did that at Chango in Orlando. It took us like a few weeks, I think. We had this villa in Orlando the entire time. It was like a fucking mansion. You know what I mean?
Jeez.
And that was all off of our dime, but Outer Loop was the one who was actually making the connection there with Mazzell. So we did that record. It came out. It did great.
Honk?
It charted. It honked. it charted on iTunes.
Double meaning.
I don't remember the stats, you know what I mean? But it charted fairly high when it first came out for what it was, like the hip
course
hop
it honked.
metal.
I like vaguely remember all the like the promotion and everything for,
Yeah.
for you guys doing that. I'm trying to think back.
It
to
was like
now,
we
but-
had the posters of us like outside of our studio on Oak Street near Wes's Rib House.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It was all the grainy orange. Dude, it was like we had some really nice stuff.
Yeah.
So that album like I said, the 7 or 8 tracks. Once that came out, Frankie started snowballing into him just booking, like getting better and better at booking. And he would take us out to Pennsylvania. He'd take us out to New Jersey. We'd go to Maine. We'd go to Vermont just to play at these little VFW halls as Scare Don't Fear. And there were people there that knew us because of fucking MySpace. You know what I mean? And we dropped Scene of the Crime. You should know what that is.
Sure do.
You guys probably do not. We dropped that song, and everyone just wanted Scare Don't Fear to play their fucking VFW halls because they knew we were playing Scene of the Crime last, and that was the song that you needed to hear if you were a Scare Don't Fear fan. But the amount of hate that we got as well, guys, is something that that was probably not talked about enough.
Can we do a little?
We were bashed everywhere we went by certain people, but loved by more.
Okay, why were you bashed for what?
For being a hip hop metal band, for having a rapper.
Mm-hmm.
Just for having a rapper.
So wait, would you guys beef and fight and stuff?
No, it was just like
you
guys can say what you want, but when we get on that stage, you're gonna be
you guys were all just fucking,
and that's when we would turn people all the time. Like our crowd was, you can't just describe what our crowd was for Scare Don't Fear. It was just like every human ever. You know what I mean? We had elderly people that loved us. We had young kids that loved us. We had middle-aged grown men that were fangirling over Scare Don't Fear. You know what I mean? It was just
cats, probably a couple dogs as well.
Let me talk to you.
Let me talk to you.
But like, so it's just like VFW hall shows, like heavy weekend runs, New England runs. And it just became where Outer Loop started getting us on some more shit. Like they got us on a Volumes tour. It was only a few dates. Was
any money being made at that point? I always wondered.
Very, very little.
Okay.
And
when you say very, very little, what is that?
We'd probably get $200-$300 a night at that point.
A member? Or?
No, total. For Scare Don't Fear.
Would that go just to the band, or would you guys get a little cut?
Band fund. There was no dimmying it up.
So you'd have to have your own money that you saved up from your job that you have.
Exactly.
Okay.
Or
I always wonder how that works.
Or if you asked your mom for $20 for the weekend, you know what I mean? But
as it is in
the weekend.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. Those days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
it
just kind of
didn't hear that, but I heard that.
It just kind of turned into just more and more of these little weekend runs, and then they got us on a tour with Volumes, with Life in Mind, and Arsonist Get All the Girls.
Ooh,
and we
what
did
a good fucking band to be with, huh?
Oh yeah, dude. And people were like, "What the fuck is this Scare Don't Fear band?" Because Arsonist is what, like a grindcore, mathcore band. You know what I mean? And then you have Volumes, which is like Meshuggah. You know what I mean?
Wait, when you were out with Volumes, it was Mike Terry in the band? Or
Mike Terry was not in the band.
So it was
it was Michael Barr. And Diego and his brother Young Yogi Farias. You know what I mean? We became kind of tight with them during that tour. We were only on it for like the last leg. And then we went home, and our first ever tour, I guess I'll just fast forward to this, spare you guys the painstaking details of playing places like the Meat Locker in New Jersey.
Meat Locker. Shout out the Meat Locker.
Shout out Meat Locker.
What a hellhole.
I thought I was going to lose my life every time I played there.
I want to play there just to see it.
You gotta, dude, and listen.
And I know you're not up on your fucking shots because I'm not.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Why is it called the Meat Locker?
Because that's what it is.
First of all,
that's what it is.
First of all,
right, and then
it's the basement of a vegan restaurant.
I'll never. It is.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's this. There's this vegan restaurant in Montclair, New Jersey.
Many times.
Fun hang. Been there many times.
Is it any good?
It's fun. I mean,
is it good?
It's like Toto, but not
no. Oh, I don't know. I've never been there when the sun's out, so I don't know.
It's horrifying.
Never eaten there?
It's probably. I heard it's good.
Okay.
I've heard that the place is good. I've never been to that part of Montclair when the sun is up. So no.
No. So we're playing.
So this guy's saying no. You're saying you heard it's good. What?
Anyway. The venue is the basement of this place.
Yes.
Okay.
And I remember,
cool. And it's the Meat Locker.
It's the Meat Locker. The creepiest part about the Meat Locker, I don't know if anyone else besides that.
Yes.
I don't know if anyone else had this experience at the Meat Locker after our set. There was a creepy old guy that did sound, and he'd come up to you and be like, "I got your set here on this CD."
Oh, it's like every sound guy ever. What do you mean? Like every sound guy ever is like, I recorded you,
But dude, it was just like creepy. Like he looked like the Crypt Keeper. You know what I mean?
It's
and in this venue, it's like the Crypt Keeper's house.
What's hilarious is that it's like kind of a nice neighborhood. Like
It is, and then you go into the shits.
Montclair's pretty nice, and then you go, this basement that's like just hepatitis.
Literally,
man.
like if you
Jesus.
fall and cut yourself in this place, dude, like you will get hepatitis A through Z.
Good
You know what I
fucking
mean?
God.
I'm gonna look up pictures for you.
I gotta see this
The
place.
meat locker.
yeah.
I want
Yes.
to. I want to. Lisa, I want to play there just to say that we've done it.
you've
Yeah,
done
at
it.
this
I'm
point.
down.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Listen, kid, you're
You
not
gotta- you
nobody
gotta still
until
have
you
some
played the
connections down
meat
there.
locker.
Yeah,
You guys still have connections down there. We got to make this happen.
I can make that happen.
Everyone out there who has played the meat locker will understand that.
What's the other shitty play? Oh, fucking champs.
Oh, dude,
God,
That's the other one we got to do.
there's a lot of bad ones.
No.
There's a lot of bad ones.
We got to just take out Jersey.
do not.
All the shitty places.
I do not
But we
wanna
know
play champs,
because
dude.
Scared Don't Fair played a ton of awesome shows in New Jersey, and we always had solid Jersey fans, but
Sure.
not at the meat locker.
It's not there.
You ever played Dingbat?
What the fuck? That's,
No, not
that's
yet.
straight up not even a fucking... That's just a basement, bro.
That is the meat
I mean,
locker.
that's what it is.
That's just a... brother, that's...
Can I see?
There's
That's
no
just-
stage,
Brother,
You know
that's
what I
just a
mean?
basement.
It's literally a basement.
That's just a basement.
I don't know what's going on in that video.
That
That is
there
the
ain't-
meat locker.
There
That's
ain't no...
the meat locker.
That's the meat
Yep.
locker.
There ain't
Oh,
no
that is-
licensing involved in
And where
that.
is
There
that?
is...
Those are
Where
box
is that?
fans, brother. That's
Where is
That's in New Jersey.
Jesus
New
Christ.
Jersey.
Montclair,
Jersey.
nude
Yep.
Jersey.
There you go.
So I played a place called the Blue Room in New Jersey, and there was a
Yes,
a strip club connected to it.
Oh my
I
god!
remember
What
that.
town?
Sick.
Yeah, that's
It was
awesome.
sick. They were like, yeah, like we're paying all the bands, and there's no tickets to sell. And
It's
everybody-
North Jersey. It's
and
like
people
in the
just come,
burbs
and,
still.
like,
I can't think
people
of the
just
town.
came. Like people just came. In
Yeah.
their pants.
I played a place attached to a fucking bowling alley.
That's, you know what though? That's great. That's shit's awesome.
Someplace in
I
fucking Cape Cod. I
I
don't know.
fucking love that.
Scared Don't
shit,
Fair
man.
has played shows at URI, like the most random
Yes.
places.
Oh,
I remember
yeah.
that one.
I
URI,
totally
bro.
played the It was like the welcome week or whatever. Fucking in the
It's in like one of the meeting rooms or ballrooms or something
yeah,
like that.
I did
Yep.
one of those one
we
year.
did those. Yeah, we did
Yeah.
all that shit, and it was just like, we got this management, and we did that little Volumes tour, and it was like, now fuck, like we really got to do something.
Volumes is dope.
Yeah, Volumes was great, and we ended up meeting back up with them on Warp 2014 when we got that.
What a solid connection. to make.
The crazy thing is, if
They
we're
were popping at that time too. They were
do
popping
we want to
the
go
fuck
into
off.
Warped?
Yeah.
We're
No,
good to
are
go
we
into
there yet?
Warped?
Because
Yeah.
I want to buckle. I want to.
Yeah, I mean, we got that
in, bro.
Volumes tour, and then it was
Okay.
like, oh shit, this is getting crazy. You know
If
what I
we're
mean?
going into war. We're going to war next.
You know
It's
what I
what-
mean?
It's a logical progression.
This was getting crazy. Now we're out there with established bands, and you know what I mean, we're turning people left and right because people see us set up and like, what
You're
the fuck is
turning
this
them
going
like
to be?
vampires.
You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. So all of that was happening, and it was just like, well, it's time to start shopping. You know what I mean? And also, we're in the midst of writing a new record.
Okay.
Too, from the ground up.
Which that's the name of it.
From the ground up.
From the ground up.
That was the one.
What was the big one on
we
that
did
one?
Destroy Rebuild before From the Ground Up. So there's
Okay.
Destroy Rebuild. I'll cover that real quick.
Destroy
It
Rebuild.
was an independently done EP that we did. We did it with Bryce Carriger, I believe his name is. I haven't.
Bryce Carrigan, maybe. Carriger.
I'm not sure.
The name is so familiar to me.
It was
Yeah.
Bryce. He did a great job on Destroy Rebuild. You can still listen to it on Spotify, iTunes.
Okay, if you're out there,
If
and
you're
and
out there,
you're
look up
flickering
Destroy
through your
Rebuild. Has some of my
flickers,
favorite
you know?
riffs. So we did that one, you know what I mean, and that gained some traction. That with the management shopping that, and we were sent down to a studio in New York.
Like sent down.
like-
they were just like
You're going here to work with Mike Watts. I don't know if you guys know who Mike Watts
sounds
is.
familiar.
He did the Deer Hunter.
was
Oh,
it far
yeah.
away? Did
Oh,
you
yeah.
fly or
No,
anything,
we
or-
drove to New York.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fair.
So it's like Smithstown or something like that. So
I hope you
Smithtown.
stopped by the Carnegie.
So
Deli,
we
'cause
went
it was
down there
open.
to do a song with him, right?
Yeah.
Just to do a song with him, see how it sounded. We recorded. It was the first song we ever recorded for the From the Ground Up album. It was Already Dead, and it was like, yo, we really like this song. We want you to come back and do a record here. You're gonna do a full length here with Mike Watts, and Ben Bruce from Asking Alexandria is going to sign you. You're gonna be the first band he signs.
Wow.
Yep, to his new record label, KBB Records, which is no longer a thing.
No, it is not.
We were the
Has it
first
evolved
band.
into anything? Is he doing anything else?
No.
with that
No,
kind
it
of thing?
dissolved.
Yeah.
It dissolved.
That's too bad.
So we were the first band Ben Bruce signed.
Yeah.
Okay. We got a phone call one day. We were already in the studio doing this record before this happened. We're in the studio doing the record. We got a call while we were in the studio doing the record. Ben Bruce wants to sign you. We're faxing over the contracts and emailing over the contracts now. So he's going to pay for this record. I think it was 10 grand he put up.
Wow.
So we could do From the Ground Up with Mike Watts for KBB Records. So we lived at the studio. This dude, Mike Watts, shout out Mike Watts, best producer I've ever worked with, brought stuff out of me that I didn't know I had. I'm telling you. His amp section, incredible too. Soldanos, Tiny Terrors, Dark Terrors, you name it. We mixed it all on that record.
Hell yeah.
And it was amazing. So,
What story?
dude, and it just gets crazier
We're ready.
because we're in the studio.
You got your diapers on.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Oh,
I should have
always.
worn my brown pants.
You should have.
You like-
You may need them.
Always.
Depends.
We're in the studio doing this full-length record. You know what I mean? I have guitars that were endorsed to me.
The DBZs, right?
DBZs. We got a call while we were in the studio doing the record. DBZ wants to outfit you guys. Okay. When you when you guys get down that way, you're gonna go to the warehouse. It was in Houston. Yeah. It's no longer, but it was in Houston. It's in Indiana now. I'm still on their active roster page. If you go and look, I am still endorsed by
If
Diamond
you're
Guitars.
on your computer, check
Forgot
it
the,
out.
oh yeah, that's right. I forgot they were still like an active.
Yep,
I was wondering about that.
they
Like
are
an
no
active
longer DBZ.
Yeah.
They are Diamond Guitars.
That's right.
And they reached out to
They're a
me.
thing still. It's still a
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
they
they're
rebranded.
still active,
You're
bro.
still on the webpage.
They're crushing. They're crushing. They have mega bands. They got Mushroom Head, dude. You know what I mean?
Really?
Dude,
Yes.
I love
Wow, I didn't
fucking
know.
Mushroom Heads.
So they were
much.
like, yo, DBZ, which is now Diamond Guitars, they want to endorse the band. They want to outfit you guys two axes apiece. Okay.
So you went to the place, and how did it go? They just hand you T-shirts?
Oh,
Or
no,
like-
not yet. We didn't even meet them yet.
Oh.
They shipped these guitars UPS to us.
Oh, I
Okay.
thought this was like. I thought when you said outfit, I thought they were going to give you new digs.
No,
Like,
eventually.
sweatshirts
We
and-
didn't. They're in Houston.
Okay,
We were
got
in
you,
New
got
York
you,
doing
got
a
you,
record.
Got you. Continue.
You know what I
Sorry,
mean?
Go ahead.
All right, so we finished the record. It's fucking amazing. We got the call that Ben Bruce wanted to sign us. We obviously agreed, signed those fucking contracts, and smoked a ton of weed that night.
Oh.
You know what I mean? And at that point, we had landed Warped Tour, 2014, and that was before we were signed. Ben Bruce did not get us that. We had it before we were signed. Going into the studio, Outer Loop Management / Street Smart Management, guy named Don was a big part of this. We got Warped Tour 2014 on the Kevin Says stage with Beartooth. That was their first Warped.
Can we
with
talk
Teenage Bottle Rocket?
Oh, that's a good
With,
band. That's
with
a good band.
they became some of my best friends.
I
I've
was
ever
at
met in
the
my life.
I was at the Jersey date of that. I had just started working in PR.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw you guys.
So-
I went out of my way to
there
make sure I
in
saw you guys at the
Mansfield.
Mass Date.
Oh, you were there.
Yeah.
I sure was.
You were there.
Absolutely.
Yep. We had a lot of our people in Hartford too. But so before we got signed to KBB, we landed Warped Tour. So this was going to be our first ever official tour. You know what I mean? So we're kind of like, oh shit, like this is really happening. You know what I mean? We just finished the record. The record's going to come out while we're on Warped, and we're already going to have them to start selling them that day. You know what I mean? It was like a week or so into the tour. If you'll excuse me for a second.
How dare you?
Oh, I don't usually talk this much. So now we find out we're getting Warped. The record's coming out on Warped, and it's like, okay, time to batten down the hatches. You know, DBZ sent us the guitars. I remember coming home from work one day from K&R Auto Salvage, which I still currently work there. I manage the place. Go buy your parts there. Junk your car with me. All right?
Do it.
Do it now. I mean, I give out cash.
Cash.
You got an old junk car?
I did.
Exactly.
I should have brought you my fucking
You
Honda
should have brought
Element,
me.
dude.
You should have brought me your old junk car.
Oh my god, that thing was a piece
Okay,
of shit.
I'll let it slide. It's fine.
If I knew.
So then, you know what I mean?
Bring them the one you have now to make up for it.
Nah, I like that one.
Now, we go back home after finishing the record. We go back home now. We're back in Providence at our studio next to the Walmart parking lot now. It was no longer
Wait,
in.
are we still in the Warp Tour? Or?
I'm talking about we just finished the record, just figured out we're getting Warped Tour.
Got it.
Okay. So it was Warped Tour 2014, and we were back home practicing the new record because we knew we were going to have to take it and tour, for fucking 2 months. So we're practicing From the Ground Up, and we played a couple Destroy Rebuild songs on Warped, like the song Rebuild itself. I don't know if you know that one. The harmonic Chuggy. That's my favorite Scared Don't Fair song. We played that at every Warped date. So it was like now it was time to announce that we had Warped. And going back to the hate, there was a lot of hate on Scared Don't Fear the entire way. People said we would never do fucking jack shit because we didn't sound like Sleeping with Sirens or wherever the case may be. You know what I mean? And now it was time to announce Warped Tour. And everyone who ever hated on Scared Don't Fear, I'm talking to you. came out of the woodwork to say nothing but good things now.
Oh, of course, as it
You know
is.
what I mean? Yeah. I always knew you guys would do it and so on and so forth. It's like, dude, you were like literally doubting us. You were literally saying you will never do it.
Well, that's got to be a good feeling, though.
Great feeling. Great feeling.
Good
I remember
feels.
specifically putting up a Facebook post when I got signed to KBB Records, and it was a picture of my middle finger, and it says, for everybody who didn't think I could do this, this one's for you. You know what I mean? We just signed to KBB. And then the announcement for that came. Then the announcement for Warped came. And, people come out of the woodworks that always hated, but then your actual friends, who were there the whole time, they're obviously ecstatic for you.
You still got those DBZs?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. They are not DBZ anymore. They're Diamond, but I still have one DBZ. I had a technical issue with the Halcyon that I had on Warped Tour. It was my backup. I got
to look these up. I'm
remember the black
I'm
one.
refreshing myself on
Like
these guitars.
the Strat style one, right?
That's the one that I still play. It's the Barchetta. It's a Schecter body style,
right.
pretty much. And I still play that one. That is the same guitar, the one I play in Papercut. That is the same guitar that did all of Warped Tour 2014 with me.
Okay, so the Halcyon was like a...
The Halcyon was like an SG
like a
looking
super,
thing.
It's not this one, like a Super Strat?
No. That's not it. No,
that's Diamond. That's
yeah.
what
It was
they
the
are now.
DBZ Halcyon, and it kind of looked like an SG a little bit. It was all matte black. But the Barchetta is the guitar that I have 5 guitars. That is one of the guitars that I mainly use today, and she's a slut, and she did the entire United States with me multiple times over.
I do remember that one.
Yeah, that one. It gets played. It's my main Papercut guitar. I still play it, and I did not have that guitar for a while. It was with Scare Don't Fear after, unfortunately, I parted ways with the band. And we can get to that if we want at some point.
Yeah.
Never talked about it on record, but
No, I have more questions.
no, I'm not there yet, though.
No, I have a question.
Okay, go ahead. Mike has a question. I'm going to answer that question.
Boys are sitting on it.
Before we were talking about, you were like, yes, we would get like whatever. We wouldn't. All the money would go to the band fund. Like now
The
you're
entire
on
time.
But now you're on Warped Tour.
Yeah, okay. You want to know
What's
how-
that
okay.
like? Because you get fed, right? Like what's that like?
All right,
like
so
now?
if
You
we're
know what
going-
I mean? Like,
if we're going
I want.
there-
I'm in it. I want to hear what the lifestyle.
Oh,
is.
it's something.
Yeah.
If we're going there, so we announced Warped Tour. All right, we have it. We bought a van to take. We had to drive down to Arizona to use Asking Alexandria's first RV. That was the RV that we used for the tour.
Yeah, Ben
Hilarious.
Bruce is like, here you guys go.
Yep, you guys can have this, mate. Here you go. Lots of cheese, mate.
Take this.
You know what I mean?
Thick ass accent.
Oh,
yes.
dude, yeah, it's bad.
That's
Shout
good
out Ben
stuff.
Bruce, though. He was nothing but great
Yeah,
to us.
I like the
He-
movies he was in. He did some movies.
They did suck.
He's great. So we have the tour. We announce it. We're driving to Arizona. We didn't make it probably more than 8 hours before our van shits the bed.
Oh, great.
That tracks.
Not even. I think it was 3-4 hours. And
I think I remember this.
the van shit the bed. So luckily, our buddy Jeff Braun-Ruther, shout out Jeff, he was our one of our road guys, and he did merch, and he ended up becoming the drummer later, replacing Larry, who then moved to Beats and Keys. You know what I mean? So he was in New York. We were headed his way anyway. He had a 4D 350, 12 passenger. He goes, all right, get that van towed. I'm going to drive my van to you guys, and we're going to drive it to Arizona. You know what I mean? So it took a week to get down there, I would say. From Rhode Island to Arizona is a haul.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It took about a week to get down there, and we get there, we get the RV, we have a hotel for a couple nights before Warp starts, and boom, before you know it, you're in a parking lot, and it is about to be the first Warp Tour the next morning, and it's a big party. It's the Warp Tour cookout. There's a few of them throughout the tour. The first one is the night before the tour. So every band is just tailgating the entire way. You know what I mean? All the buses, all the vans, whatever you're in, the RVs, they're all parked together and you're just tailgating. And then Warped Tour started the next morning. You know what I mean? In Houston. And
Get the vibes right. That's why Warped
Yep.
Tour was so good.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of videos of that. It looks like a hell of a time.
dude, I could probably, you'll have to probably edit this, how much I will talk about this. Man, it was like Houston, day one. You have no idea what to expect, dude. You're in Houston, Texas. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? We're from Providence, Rhode Island. This is our first tour. Is anyone even going to stop to catch our set?
Sure.
Because Icy Stars was playing at this time. The Devil Wears Prada was playing at this time. Bayside's playing over here at this time. And if I'm not fucking playing, I'm going to watch them.
Right.
And cry while I do it. All right? They give you the all-access pass, which I still have at home.
What was the food like?
Okay, we'll get there. Hold on.
Important stuff first, Mike.
They give you the all access
Food
pass.
isn't important.
Yeah, the warp badge gets you on every fucking stage. Main stage doesn't matter. If Falling in Reverse is playing, I could walk up there and just watch them from the side, just flash my pass. You know what I mean? And just you could do that. They outfit you with clothes and shoes before the night before, and also halfway through. They give you a pair of Vans of your choice. It's like a pop-up shop, and they set up with sneakers, clothes, socks. They give you like an outfit or two's worth, like throughout the tour, a couple of different times. So if you're talking food, there is catering every day at Warped Tour. And if you miss breakfast, lunch, and dinner time, you're not eating. So breakfast start early, and it's free. If you're on the tour, they scan your pass. It has a picture of you on the back. It has your full government name, and it has a barcode. They would scan that barcode. And then you go up to all these tables with amazing food. And the thing is, the bands have to serve.
I've eaten it before.
The bands have to serve the food.
Yeah.
At least once. Every band has to serve catering at least once before the tour is over. So I remember one day Ronnie Radke was serving me food. You know what I mean? And then I served him food like later on in the tour.
Hilarious.
And there was actually talks of doing a song with Ronnie Radke. And we met up with him on that tour, talked about it, exchanged emails. Obviously, it never happened. So, but the Scare Don't
Ronnie
Fear,
Radke, huh?
yeah, the Falling in Reverse went rap after that. The hip hop,
Yeah, because that would have been the Fashionably Late era. That would have been right around that time.
exactly.
Yeah.
exactly.
Influenced by Scared
9 o'clock on the dot at the spot. I'm hanging
Hell
with
yeah.
your friends again. Yeah.
God, I hated that record when it
Oh,
came out.
I love it so much.
I
but
love
I
it now,
hate
though.
it. I hate it, but I love it.
I hated it when it came out. I talked so much shit about it, but I love it now.
Yeah, it's a love hate thing.
Yeah.
For me, especially after meeting.
I have
the
to
guy.
check that out.
But
I
anyway,
really haven't delved in as much as I
So
should.
now, Mike, to answer one of your questions, we're getting paid to do Warped Tour. Okay.
X amount. How much?
Okay. It was enough for each of us to have $20 a day.
Really?
Yes. $20 was the per diem, and you would get it weekly. You know what
So
I mean?
there was no like actual payment for playing? You just
Warped
got
Tour is paying you X amount of dollars. I don't know what the exact dollar amount is. I never was on that end of things in the band.
okay,
you know what I
but then
mean?
you on top of that you get a per diem,
Yes.
and that's why I was wondering what the payment was.
So
like.
you got $20 a day on top
I got
of...
$20 a day for me.
yeah,
per
everybody-
member on top of whatever the band made for playing. Is
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, merch, we were killing it. All the merch went right in our pocket. You know what I mean? So we were selling CDs left and right. People on Warped are walking by like, oh my God, what is this metal hip hop band that I've never seen before? But there's like 300 people watching them right now. You know what I mean? It was crazy.
Did you run out of merch and have to reorder and all that shit that happened?
No, we came stocked, dude.
You
I
came
think we
stocked
had
up.
we had merch now at the time. So we were just they sent us boxes and boxes and boxes.
Oh, hell yeah.
And you have to set up a tent. You have to have your own professionally done tent with your logos all over it, and it has to be in a certain place every day at a certain time, or you're not selling merch. You know what I mean? So our merch guy, Jeff, one of our road guys, he'd have to be out there super early. You know what I mean? Before we're even out of the RV, he's got to be there set up. We had a headphone listening booth where you can listen to the album. You know what I mean? We obviously had the T-shirts and all that shit. But places like we would like throughout Warped Tour was like, I'll never forget Nashville. We were setting up to go on in Nashville, and it looked like Falling in Reverse was about to play. Like, if you just had to catch people in traffic, you had to catch the traffic at the right time, and we would just get really good set times. Every day your TM would have to go get your set time in the morning. He would give you your beer, your water, and your set time. First thing, that's what the TM has to go do. And then, like, some days we opened, you know what I mean? It was like 10:30 in the morning, and we're playing the Warp Gate. As soon as people were walking in, it was fucking perfect. You know what I mean? There were some sets where there weren't many people because Attila was playing at the same time, or, you know what I mean? But I would say it was like 70-30. Like 70% of sets, 70% of sets that we played on that entirety of Warp, which I think was 40 cities in 44 days that we did. Mega crowds. Mega. Dallas was like, it was like an arena show for us. Like, it was stupid, dude.
Yeah.
Like, if you go on my Instagram at @JoeAuger_, you can see it all. If you scroll back 10 years, you can see every city, the entire Warped Adventure is there.
Check it out
on my Instagram. If you guys really want to scroll back 10 years, you can see it.
Scroll back.
What I mean? But there were many cookouts on Warped Tour for all the band members. Like they're out there with grills, like chefing. You know
Heard something about a pig roast that happened?
Yeah, there's a big cookout at the last leg of the tour where it's every band, every production member, every stage, everything in one big area at the stadium. There was one day we ate lunch at the Detroit Pistons arena, and they were playing fucking Space Jam on the Tron or whatever you want to call it.
Hell yeah.
We played Mile High with a Broncos play. We did. Dude,
That's cool.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, dude.
Playing in the middle of like
every
a pro,
possible amphitheater that Warped Tour had, we fucking did it. I had an app called Places I've Pooped. Throughout this tour.
I remember so many people had that.
Oh, yeah. Shout out Places I Pooped. And throughout this tour, I would just drop a pin. Everywhere I dropped a deuce. You know what I mean? And by the end of Warped Tour, the thing was completely red. You couldn't even see the country anymore. And yeah, man. But there were times on Warp that were really hard, like travel days. There's only a few of them, but when they're there, you got like a 13, 14-hour drive that you got to do overnight to get there. You know what I mean? And it's our driver lost his mind at the last leg of the tour in Salt Lake City. He was calling his parents. Shout out Corey, man. I love him to death.
I was about to ask, do you guys actually have a driver, or did you guys?
We had a driver.
Yeah,
we had a driver. None of us were about doing that.
Yeah.
It was our buddy Corey DiGiulio, who's still a great friend of mine. Shout out Corey, and he was Cody the Roadie on. It was an inside joke. That's what we called him. He was Cody the Roadie. You know what I mean? He was our handler. He'd do anything we need. You know what I mean, to make
Love
sure.
a good handler.
Exactly. Mike
Love
likes a good handler.
and believe in a good handler.
Yep. So Corey was the driver. He was everything. You know what I mean? And now this poor guy was losing his mind doing all these overnight drives and not sleeping. Because imagine trying to sleep, all right? Imagine trying to sleep in a RV bunk in a Warped Tour parking lot. While it's going on.
I'm going to go probably not.
If you look up on YouTube, you guys ever hear a digital tour bus? Mm-hmm. Okay.
I could do it. I would just put the headphones in, put the head up, and
listen. Right? So check out our episode of Digital Tour Bus. It's still on YouTube. Mm-hmm. You can see our driver Corey sleeping in the overhead cabin. He's got shooting range muffs on, and he's got a weed blindfold. Yeah. And that was the struggle of trying to sleep on Warped Tour 14 days, where he had to drive throughout every night. You know what I mean?
Power to him.
Yeah.
I get highway-itis, man. I can't drive at night.
Oh, dude, I don't like it either. I don't like it, man. I'll be honest with you. I don't like it.
I can't do it.
So, like, there wasn't many travel days involved. Like, the last leg of the tour, I think, was almost 20 days straight of no breaks. We're doing Warped Tour every day for 20 days now until we go home. You know what I mean? And at the end, honestly, I was really cooked. You know?
What happened? You said that. What happened with Corey? You didn't say what happened.
Oh, I'm sorry. He called his parents and was like, "Mom, can you guys fly me home and stuff?" And obviously, it didn't happen. He fucking trooped it. No. Yeah, he was really thinking about calling his parents and getting himself out of there. And RTM would have had to, because he did some of the driving. RTM, and he was also our sound guy too. You had to have your own sound guy on Warped Tour. The Warped Tour sound guy is not doing your sound unless you're on the local stage. You know what I mean? You had to have your own mixer. So we had a man by the name of Jay Taylor. Shout out Jay Taylor. Spent 2 months with the guy. He does Saliva. He's out with Saliva probably right now. You know what I mean? He's done Soil. He's done Saliva. He's done Drowning Pool. He's done all these awesome bands. So the whole Warped Tour experience, I don't want to talk for 3 hours about it. You know what I mean?
There's a lot I can imagine.
Got to meet some really cool people. Some of my heroes. Got to personally have a face-to-face with Anthony Ranieri from Bayside and tell him how much I fucking loved him, pretty much. And I was like, dude, you don't know me. I'm some nothing band on the Kevin Says stage, dude. But I just want to thank you for making the music that you make. And I ended up having a chat with him for a few minutes. We took a picture. You know what I mean? I got to meet people like that. Warped Tour sent you to see the new Ninja Turtles movie for free on a day off.
That's cool.
Yep, that was
This is
cool.
Shit I'm here for.
Warped Tour did a lot of cool shit like that for you.
We can go past the time. Don't worry.
Okay.
That's just
I got you. I also want to make sure I get home to my son soon.
Yeah, for sure. We don't have to be right in the button here.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
All right. So yeah, they sent us to see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for free. We get to do a photo shoot like we were fucking famous. You know what I mean? And yeah, man, they would do a lot of cool stuff for you like that. Obviously, you're eating 3 times a day, and the food's super healthy. It's super good. They also had shit like chicken and waffles for breakfast, and then go rip a Warped Tour set. You know what I mean?
Boy, what the fuck?
I would have had it
Kevin.
a couple times.
Kevin Lyman, shout out to you.
That's the guy who knows how to take care of bands. I strive to one day
100%
be like half the promoter.
He gave us the nod to play his tour and play on his stage. It's the Kevin Says stage. So if you're a band and you're playing on the Kevin Says stage, you know what I mean? That's Beartooth was on that stage. Marmoset's, Teenage Bottle Rocket. God, there were so many great bands on that stage, and it sucked because like at times we'd have to go play right after Beartooth. Imagine that.
Yeah, right.
Everyone just killed each other because it was the Disgusting record.
Yeah, 14.
In
Yeah,
2014.
that would have been because I was on the PR team for that.
I have a
record.
problem. That song.
Yeah.
I remember that. I remember going.
I got to see
Walked.
that.
I remember seeing you guys, and then remembering they were promoting that Beartooth was promoting that album. I was like, oh, Beartooth, I should probably get into this band.
Dude, they killed it every motherfucking day.
I don't think they had played Simon's yet at that point, had they? Because I hosted them at Simon's.
Oh yeah,
that was such a great lineup for Warp that year too. I think Get Scared was on that.
Yes,
that year
they were.
Too.
They were on our stage.
Scared.
Get Scared was on.
I think they played right
Says
before or
stage.
after you. I think
It was different every day.
Yeah, I'm
different every
saying
day.
the Mansfield day.
Oh, okay.
I think they were right before or after you.
Also,
I think
I
Set It
think-
Off was on that year too.
I think maybe New Year's Day as well.
Yep.
I'm not
was an
not
18 year
positive.
too.
New Year's Day.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Because that was the year I got hit on by Jeffree Star.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
Oh, he was there every day.
Yep.
I
I
photobombed.
got to see Jeffree Star every day.
I photobombed Jeffree Star.
Did you really?
At that in a music video.
That's funny
So
as
it's
hell.
there's that Color Morale music video, and he's
Okay,
the
they were on the
thumbnail.
tour, too.
He's in the thumbnail,
Yeah.
and I'm in
They
the
were on that
back
tour.
of that photo.
Yep.
In-
Also-
in Trenton or some shit.
So-
I don't know. It was in Jersey.
That's
Were ya?
dope.
It was
The best
it was
bands.
Camden. Gross.
Oh, that was
Should add
a
it in,
shitty
show
Warped
the
Tour.
world.
date.
Yucky. Yeah, I was
But
there.
shout out Camden though, because that Warped Tour date, we actually met this fan who actually ended up becoming a good friend of ours. His name's Dave, and he had a Scare Don't Fair tattoo on his calf.
Damn.
And he showed
Hell
up.
yeah.
He showed up with like 20 something joints for us, and we brought him back to the RV, and he smoked us all up. And shout out to that dude because I still keep in touch with him. He just got married and all that stuff, and he was a Scare Don't Fair fan. You know what I mean? And
That's a
Is
Ben.
he still? He probably still bumps it.
oh,
once
he
in a
still
while.
bumps
Ben.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll still talk about it from time to time.
That's sick that you cannot be a band anymore.
Yep.
And
Dude,
it
our
still
monthly
lives
listeners
on.
is still stupid. You know what I
Really?
mean? Yeah, if you go on, all right.
Well, that's
Scare Don't Fair has not been a band since I believe 2015, so it's been almost 10 years, right?
Yeah, almost. Yeah.
Almost a decade. So now if you go on Scare Don't Fair's Spotify, which has every legit recording that we still have, it's still 6.6K monthlies. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And people are still bumping this all the time.
that's crazy.
Yep, and I'm not gonna lie, I still listen to it all the time too, because those are my guitar.
if you're not
riffs.
jammed up
Sure,
on your
yeah.
own band, I
Yeah,
mean,
who
we've
are
said
you?
it before. It's like if you're not in your favorite band, like
That's true.
Exactly.
you should probably like
Exactly.
Not be.
not be playing
So
music at all.
fucking,
Or not be.
we're doing Warped Tour. We're killing it. It's just we're going through the desert. It's super hot. We did Vegas. We did Mesa. We did God. It was just like there was a string of just hot fucking shit. You know, just like you want to die hot, and you
Yeah.
get off the stage and it looks like you just jumped in a pool. You know what I mean? And there's most places didn't have a shower. We were doing truck stop showers.
Ooh, that must have been weird.
Truck stop showers, guys. Yep, you heard
yeah.
it here. $12 a pop.
Was it at least stalls or was it?
Oh,
open?
you got your own private bathroom, dude.
Oh,
it was
okay.
incredible. Like it's
Hell yeah.
Oh, a truck
comfortable,
stop shower to me
clean.
is taking a wet paper towel and doing your pits and your
Oh
dick.
no, not the hooker bath. No, this was an actual truck stop shower that are at like the Loves,
Yeah,
and the
yeah,
Flying
yeah,
Jays,
yeah,
and
yeah.
all that
Like a-
stuff. Shout
like
out
a-
to
like
those
a-
places
like a
because they kept
Buc-ee's.
us alive.
Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I mean? Yeah. So if you had $12, you can go in the Flying J and take a shower and have your own private bathroom. There's a soap dispenser on the wall. You needed nothing. There's towels
So right off the bat,
You could do your laundry.
$12 a year, $20 per diems going to that shower.
all the time.
Yeah.
But
I
that's,
mean, fair.
yeah,
That's worth it.
it's either that or you're not showering and doing Warped Tour every fucking day.
you
If you're meeting people and
All right.
shit, you know
so
what I mean?
before we end the Warped Tour, I'd like to talk about a funny, embarrassing moment at Warped Tour, and it was getting interviewed by Brian Stars. Okay, that was interesting.
Good old Brian.
Good old Brian Stars. Made for very uncomfortable vibes. And it just, I don't know. It just wasn't the move. Like,
did it ever get released?
Yeah, it's out there. You can probably watch it now. I talked to him a lot, and the dude was just kind of giving me goofball vibes, bro.
He was a fucking weird dude. I don't that one I don't remember seeing.
Oh, it's out there.
No
if you
shit.
dig. Yeah, the digital tour bus is out there.
That one I saw.
That's out there.
Because AOD had one of those too.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I don't know. That was one of them. Number 2, here's a good one. This is a really good, embarrassing Warped Tour story. Obviously, you're using a porta potty every fucking day, guys. All right? For 40 plus days, you're using a porta potty. And you better fucking pray that you wake up early enough to get the fresh ones. You know what I mean? Because you know what the Warped Tour porta johns look like.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I ever went to the bathroom after Warped Tour. Or
Right.
Warped Tour.
Okay.
Ever.
So I was going to the bathroom at Warped Tour for 40 plus days.
Well.
Okay. Rough. So there was one time I had the fucking bubble guts, dude. We were about to go on soon. I said, fuck, I'm walking through Chelsea Grin and fucking Born of Osiris. And I'm like, oh, I need to go before, They
didn't have porta potties behind the stage?
They were everywhere, but they were all wrecked.
Yeah.
Like, wrecked. The amount of production crew and just people on the tour that aren't even playing on that stage is stupid. You know what I mean?
If you got the bubble guts too and you're walking by bands like that, they're so bass heavy, dude, you get all fucking rumbly and shit, dude. Oh my god.
Yo, just imagine like a Born of Osiris breakdown when you have to like shit your pants. You know what I mean?
So many 808s, dude.
Yeah. So I finally make it to a fucking porta potty and I'm just ripping. All right. You know what I mean? I'm like, we're going on in fucking 10 minutes. I have to go play a Warped Tour set in 10 minutes and it's the shits. All right. So I'm done. I'm like, all right, I'm good. I feel so much better now. And, what's your first reaction when you're done? You go to reach and grab for the toilet paper.
No.
There was none.
Oh god. Uh-oh.
It was that controversial dire. That I couldn't even I didn't even verify that fact before sitting down and just letting this happen.
You didn't have choice.
You know what I mean? Yeah, so
holy fuck.
It happened. I looked to I'm getting there.
Okay.
I looked to my left. There's a punchline to this, and I'm not gonna tell you what I did, but you'll know what I did.
Okay.
So I looked to my left, there's no TP. Nowhere to be found. So we will say that I played that Warped Tour set with one less sock that day.
Oh, poop sock.
That is my embarrassing Warped Tour story for sure.
Listen, you made it happen.
Happens to the best of us.
Made it happen.
You made it happen. That's what
Yeah.
counts.
I would just use the underwear and gone commando.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know.
And on Warped Tour playing a set like that, I don't know about that.
Just there's not a lot of socks.
The rash that I probably would have had.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Chap dick over a dry ass, man. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's not a trade I'm willing to throw
Needless
out there
to
like
say, that sock was the
guess
real
you're right.
MVP.
Yeah.
That happened.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
It's a true Warped Tour moment right there.
That's
folks.
what that was.
I expect a rest in peace sock slide.
Can we do it?
Just rest in peace and just a sock picture.
Please.
Yep. Nothing worse than a good old like road poisoning like that. There was as you well know.
Oh yeah.
Shout out Starbucks and Pittsburgh,
And there's
brother.
nothing that you can do about it, man, because it's coming.
Cranking out of both ends, sweating like a stuck pig.
Yeah, dude. And then you have to go to the bathroom at Warped Tour.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep, having to
You're
play
sitting
with
in
it,
this porta potty,
playing with a trash can next to you.
Yeah, literally. And just there's a band playing on the back of a truck right behind you. You know what I mean? But all in all, Warped Tour was the craziest 2 months of my life. I didn't even tell half the stories that I have hanging out with and making out with all these crazy, these connections that we were making with established famous musicians were just we made out like bandits, dude. Like when we left that place.
You can imagine.
We were having meetings with guys like Ronnie Radke. We were making friends with bands like Teenage Bottle Rocket, Volumes, Chelsea Grin. We were already cool with Volume. So once we hopped on, it was like, oh, you guys again. Yeah, what's up, man? They had crazy fucking crowds. Crazy crowds. We were not on their level, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember their crowds at that point.
They were massive. Best 2 months of my life. Guaranteed dates that stick out. Nashville. I would say all the Texas dates were lit as fuck. Dallas especially. San Antonio was great. one last Warped Tour story. And this is a bad one.
Yeah.
I don't know how I almost let this slide. Warped Tour goes into Canada at a certain point. Okay?
Really?
Yes. There were a few dates in Canada.
I didn't know that.
There were a few dates in Canada, and before we left, I had it all set up where I got my U.S. passport card signed up for, all set, take the pictures, everything. That I can't get into Canada without a passport book or the U.S. passport card. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you're with the tour or not, you're not going. So needless to say, my fucking, we're in Indianapolis now, okay, at Lucas Oil where the Colts play. And the next morning we have to go to Canada. My passport card is still not there.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
So, yeah. Long story short, I was dropped off at the Greyhound station across the street from Lucas Oil Stadium, where I had to then take a bus on the band money to from Indianapolis to Providence.
Wow.
And they were going to do hip-hop sets in Canada.
Wow.
Without me.
No shit.
Yes. Yep. They literally had to drop me off at Lucas Oil Stadium, where the Greyhound station is. Say, hey, man, we'll see you in New Jersey, in a few days.
Wow.
Yep. Passport never came in. Shout out to the U.S. government. It came in. It came in when I got home from the tour.
Perfect.
Yep.
Nailed
It was supposed to be, next day to me, wherever I was. It was supposed to be FedEx or whatever the case may be, next day air to where I was
There's
supposed
that
to be.
beautiful FedEx efficiency. FedEx probably fucking lost it.
Yeah,
They probably
FedEx
did.
sucks.
Shout out FedEx.
Shout out FedEx.
Literal worst.
Because of that, I had
commerce carrier
God, yeah.
in the history
All
of
day.
the human species.
Yes.
Yeah.
What
And
the
because
fuck,
of that,
man?
I had to take a bus alone
Yep.
from Indianapolis to Providence.
Hell
Took
yeah.
a few days, and I was dropped off there in the middle of the night, right after playing a Warped Tour set.
Nice.
Like, now I'm a homeless guy at a fucking...
fucking Kennedy Plaza.
literally, though.
Yeah.
And there was these homeless people all around me, and I had to spend the night
Yeah.
out there alone.
Oh, they're taking your catalytic
by
converter out of
myself.
you.
I didn't know. Me. Yeah, right. With a Sawzall.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
they are.
Jesus.
Sauce style.
Like, you look like you got too much blood in you.
I'm going to need some of that.
Yeah, so a few days later, I made it to Providence. You know what I mean? Like, it was those few days are such a blur, dude.
Collapsed in your bed.
Literally, I got home to my son, who was less than a year old still at the time. I got to see him for 24 hours or so. You know what I mean? It wasn't even a full 24 hours till I had...
Oh, so your son was born at that point. Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't
When I
didn't
left
know
for Warped Tour, he could not walk yet. When I returned, he could.
that. Wow.
So
Power to you.
yeah, that was a big reason of the falling out of the band, which we can get to, like I said. But Warped Tour, best 2 months of my fucking life. I do it again right now for free. You know what I mean? But there are struggles. There are days you do not sell merch. There are days you do not eat well. You know what I mean? Especially travel days, because there's no catering on travel days, and we only have X amount of dollars. You know what I mean? And gas. You know what I mean? We have to drive around the United States of America. You know what I mean? We have to do the entire country.
Yeah.
And all in all, the best 2 months of my life, I would say, for sure. It's sad that it's not around the way it used to be anymore, but I'm pretty excited to say that I did do it. You know what I mean? And no one could ever take that from me.
No,
you
they
know what I
cannot.
mean? 2014 was the year that it happened.
And like I said, you had a really good lineup that year, too.
Oh, my God.
That was a strong-ass year.
Yeah, dude. If you go on and look, you'll be like, holy shit, the bands that we just shared the fucking bill with
When was the
every
last
day.
year of Warped?
The full tour year was 2018,
Was it 18?
I think.
There
Or
were
17?
signs at every stage that
No, because
said,
we went to an 18 Warped,
Was
and
it-
it would have had to be 18 because
Yeah, because 19. Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
it was COVID,
COVID,
after that.
yeah.
because
And
I
then-
wasn't
And then after
here.
that would have been the 25th anniversary
Before
in
that.
So
Jersey.
did
with it.
COVID kill Warped Tour and no one talks about it? Like,
I don't. I mean,
Did it
maybe
end?
maybe in a sense.
or
I
did
don't.
they know COVID was coming and then they were like, we're done?
I don't
Right?
necessarily.
We're done. But here's the thing.
Maybe.
What I noticed from being on 14 was there were signs literally on every stage, everywhere you could possibly go and look around at Warped Tour. There were signs that said no moshing, no crowd surfing. If this happens, we will get sued. If we get sued, no more Warped Tour. That's literally what every sign had to say to make
Yep.
it that serious. And people just did not listen. You know, what I mean? People were getting hurt every fucking day. The amount of fucking injuries I saw throughout
Oh, I
that
can
entire
imagine.
tour, dude. You know what I mean?
Heavy on liability and all that kind of
Oh
shit.
yeah,
too,
people
and I
were
mean,
dehydrated saturated. People
come
were passing
on,
out.
that's kind of weird. How can you not mosh and crowd surf?
Well, it's the same as any
liability,
venue. You know, it's the same as any
I get
venue
it.
having
Yeah,
a
that's
no moshing
That's
sign
the
on
arena
it.
that you're walking in. You want to throw I'm sorry, but I throw concerts. It's like
Yeah.
you want to throw concerts. That's an obstacle that you got to figure out. And you can't rely on thousands and thousands of people to behave.
Well, it's like
Right.
you know, it's like venues stuff like you go to like Lupo's or the Palladium or whatever. There's signs that say no
if you're
moshing.
leaving it up to the people,
But
you're
it's
gonna fail.
but that's
all I'm
like
saying.
that's
Don't
them
do it.
like dropping. You know, it's like them having that. If they were to get sued, they could say, "Well, there was a sign," and then
That's
that's
fine.
it's
Right.
like
Yeah,
you know,
it's a CYA type
it gets
of
you
thing.
out of the,
I get
culpability
that.
or
I get
whatever
that
whatever
part
word
of it
I'm
for
failing to
sure.
come up with right now. But you know, you
Yeah,
know what I'm trying to say.
It's ultimately just covering liability.
Assumed risk at that point or
But
whatever.
When
you know,
when
it's-
those
yeah,
signs,
whatever.
I mean, I was going to Warped Tour from the first one I went to was 2008, and I mean,
I only went to one before I played, and I always made a promise to myself that I wouldn't go until I played it, and I almost made that a reality. I went the year before, and then we played it.
I missed 2012 and I think 15. I think were the only years that I missed.
Yep.
And you know, for what I remember, 2008, those signs weren't up.
Probably not.
You know what I mean?
No,
Like those signs
no.
didn't exist in 2008, 2010.
They were heavy on
like,
those signs too. Like when we did 14,
and I
they
remember
were
in
all about
14,
it.
13, like those signs were there.
Heavy.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Every
And
single stage, and
another
they were like big ass fucking
yeah,
signs, and,
huge.
like-
They were banners.
Yeah.
Just hanging,
Yep.
blowing in the wind. No more Whoop Tour. We'll get sued.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
And I think that was definitely kind of part of it too. And I think that like, you know what it is too. Like Kevin, I mean that's got to cost so much.
I
Oh
feel
my
like
God,
it's
I
not,
mean, the
I
amount
don't
of
know.
pressure that's on
I
that
feel
man.
like there's
Yeah.
no moshing and no crowd surfing. I get the point with the liability. I'm just saying it's like
I don't think that
would
was
never
it's
actually
such, It's such a
happen. Yeah.
rigmarole.
But I don't think
Yeah.
that
You know what I'm
was.
saying?
I don't
It's-
think
it's
ultimately
like-
that would ever actually
It's like,
be
yeah,
a reason
you
to stop.
want to be,
Yeah.
Warped Tour, and you don't want moshing or crowd surfing. That's why half the people go.
Yeah,
right.
of course.
You know what I mean?
And that's
Of
what I'm
course.
saying. I don't,
Legally, they have to put it there.
Yeah.
If
Right.
they ever got
But
sued,
what
they
a
could
struggle.
don't make me
What
tap
a
the
struggle.
sign.
There you go.
right?
We're
You know,
tapping
like-
the
What,
sign.
what,
Yeah,
they're going
yeah.
against the natural current. You know what I mean?
Right.
Exactly.
What,
And
a,
I think-
what a struggle.
And that's
to,
what I'm
to
saying. I
love
think Kevin
throwing
knew that.
shows and to not be able
Smart
to let
guy.
it be.
I mean,
Very
he's
smart
been
guy.
doing this since what 94.
I don't even know exactly.
I think it was like 94, 95. Well, it was 25 years. Yeah, 25 years in 20. Was it 2020 that we went, Zach? I forget what year that we went to Jersey, but it's coming up on the 30th year. So yeah, 94.
Whenever I think of Jersey, I think of White Castle. Go on.
White Castle fucking blows, man. I'm
love
sorry.
it. I love the crinkle fries.
So there is
Oh.
such good. Like
There's always a food tangent on this fucking podcast.
The White Castle style like slider places.
Oh.
There are all these mom and pop places. If you are in New Jersey and you go to White Castle instead of one of those places like a White Manor, et
Yeah,
cetera, et
yeah,
cetera, et cetera, then you're fucking up because it's just you're just getting a shittier version of what you
of
could
what
have.
you're really looking for.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly,
right.
dude.
Yep.
And those places
Yep.
are all over the goddamn place. Now, Joe, I know you got shit to do tonight, and I don't want to keep you all night. I do want to hear about the breakup story, or I want to hear
Okay.
what,
Oh, true,
what-
yeah.
you know, before we
Yeah,
before
no
we put
problem.
a bow on this
Maybe
bad
I heard
Larry.
a little bit of it.
Well, I do have to get home to my son. Yes. Before I get
It's his fault.
Before I damn it. No, I love.
I'm
my
the only
kid,
one that
man.
gets
Well,
it.
you said the tour ended. They got you the bus home.
Yeah, yeah. I jumped back on the tour in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Jumped back on the
That's
tour.
got to be the start of it.
And you know, I mean, we finished the tour, and then we did a few small van tours with I Set to Kill. Was one of them with our friends in Lake Monroe. I don't know if they're even still around, but
Lake Monroe,
those guys were
yeah.
awesome to tour with.
I remember that.
You know what I mean? We did a few of those runs, and then if you want to get into, I've never talked about this publicly, but we're gonna set the record straight
First time.
today.
Yay!
All right. So
I like first time shit.
it was a rough time in my life. My son has just been born. He was a baby. Scared Him Fair was not making any money. You know what I mean? It wasn't anything personal. Scared Him Fair was not making any money. And I had a newborn to feed. Okay. You know, so I got my old job back here at K&R Auto Salvage. I'm not wearing the sweater. I'm actually, it's I Love Emo Bitches.
They don't promote that sweater.
Yep.
Just
Sorry, guys, but we do love them, though.
We do.
We do. So we had a group chat like every other band has, and I just voiced some of my feelings in this group chat where I was like, guys, you know, Scared 'em Fair, you know, we did Warped. That was great. We did a record. That was great. You know, this label's not doing anything. We're not making any money. Like, I need to feed my son, dude. Like, I might have to go get a job, and, you know, I might not be able to practice as much or, you know what I mean, play as many shows. All right. So it wasn't me leaving anything or leaving anybody. It was just me saying, hey, this is where I'm at in my life. None of them were parents yet, which I can't blame them for not understanding. They weren't a parent yet. You're a parent,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I voiced my concerns in this group chat. And the next morning, Scare Don't Fear released a post that they parted ways with me.
Oh, goddamn.
Ooh.
All right. There is no bad blood there now. It's been what? Oh, my God. It's been...
Like 10 years.
a decade. Yeah, a decade since Warped 14. So, yeah, it's been a decade. I did not play music for 5 years because I was bitter as fuck. All
Understandable.
right.
And not for nothing, too, like 100%, that is a justified, as much as I'm a delusional, just all gas, no fucking breaks about shit. Just like, okay, well, something shitty happens, on to the next fucking thing. That is something that would shut me the fuck down for a little bit at
From
least.
From having everything.
Yeah.
Literally, I mean, we weren't
made it
millionaires.
So far. You made it so far, now you're going to do it all over.
When I say from having everything, I don't mean from having $1 million. I mean, we were broke as fuck, but we had everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You had what you wanted.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We were out there. We were a touring fucking band. We did Warped Tour. It was our first ever tour. You suck my dick. You can never take that away from me.
What happened to Scare Don't Fear? Why did they end?
Okay, so
After you.
they announced I was gone. The next day after I voiced my opinions in the chat, they announced I was gone. And I was absolutely devastated. That's my baby. It's tattooed on my hand.
Justified.
It says 08 to infinity on my fucking hand, and it's always going to be that. I'd never get it covered or anything like that because the ride that Scare Don't Fear took me on was a ride that I was not prepared for, but it was a ride that I would do again in a heartbeat, dude. But now, like, I got asked to leave the band, so I could just dedicate myself to my son now. That's what I was doing. You know what I mean? That's 100%. That was my goal. Fuck it, whatever. We did what we did. I don't know many other people that can say they did that. You know what I mean? Now I'm just 100% dad. And for 5 years, that happened. I was just dad. You know what I mean? And then it came a point in time where you get an itch, you got to scratch it eventually. You know what I mean? And Paper Cut happened.
Yeah.
Justin Marcotte hit me up before Carp was in the band. It was Justin Marcotte and Alex Cohen, obviously.
Yep.
And I saw Justin Marcotte post, Paper Cut's looking for a guitar player. I said, interesting. I haven't done this in 5 years. I don't even know if I can still do this. You know what I mean? It's been 5 fucking years. I'm just dad now, dude. You know what I mean? I had some solo music, some little side projects that are out on Spotify. If you look up Lone, I can't even say my
The
own
Lone
name.
Wolf stuff, right?
Yeah.
Right back in.
If you look up Lone Wolf on Spotify, that is me. But I haven't played in a lineup with a band of people in 5 years. You know what I mean, dude? And we would drive out to fucking Danvers, Mass, to Casey Albero, the former drummer. Love Casey. Shout out Casey Albero. To his basement to just try me out. I'd have to take this 2-hour ride with these guys just to try out. And obviously I tried out. They liked it. I played most of whatever they had at the time. We have an extensive fucking playlist now. You know what I mean? And after 5 years.
How many songs they had back then? Just curious.
Oh, I think we had about 10 or 12.
Yeah.
It's like 20. It's almost 30. Right
You guys
now.
can't hear the side eye that Mike just gave if you're not watching the podcast. But
Oh, man. If I joined this band, they were like, yeah, we got 12 songs. I'd be like, sick. When I joined the same band he's talking about, they were like, yeah, we have 22 songs to learn. And I was like,
Yeah.
and they were like, yeah, we have 5 more we're working on. And I was like, what?
Yep.
I still don't know all the lyrics.
But yeah, so sorry. I was asked to leave Scare Don't Fear. That was the end of Scare Don't Fear for me. There is no bad blood there. They are, each and every one of them are like family. Frankie Spakis, Ryan Grand Mason,
How
Larry
long did
Orsini.
they go on after you?
After me, I'm sorry if I dodged that. I think 2016 was the last official year of Scare Don't Fear. They did a couple more tours.
Oh.
They were on tour with
They were doing
Head
things.
PE.
Oh, what a pairing.
right.
And I was super bitter
band
at
to
home
end
that
up
I
with.
wasn't there.
right, I do
Jared,
remember
what a
that.
good
But the
guy
thing is,
Jared
with one
is.
of those tours, they actually got robbed for everything in California.
Yep.
And I was sitting at home like that would be me right now. Their passports, their fucking laptops, their wallets, the van. I don't know if they even made the rest of the tour. I don't remember. But ever since they replaced me as a guitar player and as a songwriter, they went on to be like this new metal thing, instrumental wise. And it it didn't resonate. It wasn't Scare Don't Fear anymore. They picked up this dude from New York who looked like he belongs in Disturbed. You know what I mean? I love Disturbed, but I don't dress like Dave Draymond. You know what I mean? This guy was dressing like Dave Draymond.
Oh, I think
he knows who he is. I'm not going to say his name, but my riffs are always better.
I forget. Maybe you can tell me later.
I can't remember the guy's name to save my life.
It's not worth remembering.
I'm trying to I think I remember his
and
his face.
Damn. To end the Scare Don't Fear story. Like I said, there is no bad blood. Every single one of those guys, I love them like brothers. They were my brothers. They still are. I'd be there at the drop of a dime for any of them. You know what I mean? We just obviously grew apart. And a few of us talk more now than we did in the last 5 years. Like Larry and I, we try to stay kind of consistent. And I'll talk to Frank and shit like that. But we had one last meetup before they lost the old studio. Larry was getting rid of it. And we had one last meetup there. I hadn't seen Frank or any of these guys in 5 years. And we had one last meetup there. It was tears. You know what I mean? They gave me my DBZ then. Mm-hmm. I didn't have it for 5 years.
Damn. The one over on Charles Street?
Yes. Yep. They gave me my DBZ back and said, here you go, man. This is yours. Like, they were kind of being bitter. That's not really the word. They were kind of toxic about when I asked for my guitar. He was like, oh, you don't own that, dude. It's owned by DBZ. You know what I mean? We're shipping them back. And they shipped 1 out of 2 of them back. Oh. And I got my favorite anyway.
Oh, that's good. Okay, there you go. At least
they saved the Barchetta. That was my everyday guitar. I played every Warp set on that guitar. And that is the one I still play in paper cut today. I'm just glad to still be doing this at such a high level after a 5-year hiatus. And, you know, they took a shot with me in paper cut. And my first show was an emo night. And I was like, oh, I'm fucking back. I'm all the way back, dude. After that, I can't stop chasing it, bro. Ever since Carp joined, I've been having so much more fun. You know what I mean? Because we're in Barbarian together. Yep. And we're working on a lot of stuff.
New music coming up.
My God. Yeah.
New song written.
Yep.
Ready for your eardrums?
There's a whole record worth of material already written. Just it's coming soon, hopefully. So yeah, I'm doing the paper cut thing. I'm having a blast with that with Mike, and we're doing Barbarian. We're having a blast. We're making brand new music, and we're kind of sticking to the roots of what Barbarian should sound like. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Keeping it true with Joe's spin on it.
Exactly. It's basically
Joey is going to do a song.
It's basically Barbarian with just my spin on what Barbarian should be. You know what I mean? It's in A sharp. It's fucking chuggy. It's heavy. It's not super technical. You know what I mean? But I got some bendies that
nice and easy for the ladies and gentlemen.
I got some bendy guys that will give you a blister or two.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, so that's what I'm doing now. I'm also manager at K&R Auto Salvage. Obviously, love that place. Shout out to
Bring
that
this
place.
man your shitty car.
Bring me your shitty car and buy our parts.
And don't forget the Source podcast.
Yeah, of course we do the Source. We're coming back with a second season of that very, very soon.
Hell
finally,
yeah.
My computer shit the bed. Mike worked it out. We got it done for a very, very small charge.
We got it.
We got it done. But I'm 100% dad, man. I love being a dad. I love being my son Ryan's dad so much. He plays football. It was his first year. He just won a fucking Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah. Your hat.
I'm wearing the North Providence Jets hat right now. Shout out to 2024 Super Bowl champions, North Providence Jets. Yeah, my son's first season of football, first ever sport. Kid goes out and wins the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? I just love it.
He knows how to win. That's all he knows. You know what I mean? Winning.
All he does is win. He was in the newspaper today. If you go out and go out and pick up a copy of the Valley Breeze, he is in that paper today.
Rock.
Nice.
Yep. It is this week's issue. I think it's the 10th to 14th forever. I went to Santoro's Pizza after work and grabbed like 5 or 6 or 7
Hell yeah,
of them.
as you should have, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love being a dad. Shout out to my son, Ryan, man. He's 11 years old. He's killing it. He is a middle schooler, and everything I do, it's for him. Every show, every fiber of my being is for my son. So I just want to thank him, too.
Nice. We also owe you a thanks for
you're welcome.
Because of you for our video for Let the Right One
In.
Those
were some of my cabinets.
Those were a bunch of your cabinets.
That's true.
So basically, between us and you, I didn't have to go anywhere else other than your house.
And that was a bitch, wasn't it?
That fucking sucked.
I didn't have to move a fucking thing.
Yeah,
the rest
of it was our shit.
That's true.
Which was a night. That was a fucking nightmare. It was already down there.
What a connection now to end the show is this connection where Joe lent us cabs for our video.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you guys can watch that video on YouTube. Right?
And
It's
now
on
you know
YouTube.
the curtain has been peeled back.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
we have pulled back the curtain in wrestling jargon.
Yeah, we have more stuff to cover, so we'll be having Joe back, I'd assume.
Oh, yeah,
that would be
of course.
great.
I'll tell you.
That would be great.
How, Ween really wants to get. People
Yeah.
got more stories to tell. And we
We got
want
plenty
to
of
hear
people with
them.
stories.
And
Yeah, we do.
hopefully,
Hell, we didn't even. I
captivate
mean, there's
a
so
couple
much.
people.
There's always so much shit to talk about.
There's a lot
There
that I
is.
left out of Warped Tour for a very good reason.
I can imagine.
Like nights where
Well, the statute of limitations is probably up on a lot of
No,
that
we
stuff. so
really
we'll-
do want to get into the nitty and gritty of Warped Tour. So I think next time we might just do a whole episode of Warped Tour talk.
I have enough material, man. I leave you with this. The night before the first night of Warped Tour, we're nervous as fuck. Obviously, it's going to be our first Warped Tour set tomorrow. We don't know if we're playing in the morning. We don't know if we're playing at night, whatever the case may be. And we're trying to sleep in the bus, in the RV. We didn't lock it because it's just our friends around us, bands, all different bands. Asking's bus was right next to ours. All right, so middle of the night, probably had to be 1, 2 in the morning. Someone barges in the door of our fucking RV. It's Ben Bruce. And he's absolutely shithoused, dude.
Tracks.
Like, absolutely trashed. And he's like, "Hey, mates, you guys want to come hang out with the Chelsea Grin?" And we're like, "Dude, we've never played a Warped Tour set before, bro. Like, half of us don't even drink. Can we just go to sleep so we can just play this Warped Tour set in the morning?" And he's like, "Yeah, mates. Oh, yeah, I love you guys, mate." Yeah.
That's hilarious.
He just wanted us to
Very
come
good.
party. You know what I mean? It was Ben Bruce waking us up at
Hopefully, you did get to do a lot of partying.
We
with
did some partying. I'm not a drinker, but I did have a few PBRs throughout the tour. You know what I mean? They were given to
Sometimes
us.
you gotta just soldier.
Yeah,
a beer.
there was
You
also
just soldier it.
there was also Monster Tour water that they would give
That's
you in
what
a
I'd have
Monster
in my
can,
hand
but it's
is
just
a nice
water.
Monster
There were
Tour.
Classic.
coolers on stage.
False advertising ass
Yep.
motherfuckers.
Because you're thinking now, these musicians are just chugging fucking Monster Energy and
Get ripped.
That's what I thought
I
at
am.
first.
Oh, well, yeah.
They had
That's
me
not the
fooled,
case.
and then I realized when I was
Yeah.
backstage that
Hell yeah.
yes.
Well, we'll get into all of that for a definitely a round 2. That's got to
Oh, for
happen.
sure.
I
So
have
we
an
gotta go
idea
around
for
too.
an episode, honestly. Basically, you and Alex Cohen and me, and basically you have Warped Tour from a national band's perspective.
And he could kind of give it to you
Alex
from the local.
has played
Yes.
Warped Tour on the as a local band on Warped Tour,
Like the one date
3
in
times.
your area type thing. Yeah.
With
Yeah.
that experience is how they
That's
differ.
gonna be shitty, not gonna lie, because
yeah.
nobody fucking cares.
Yeah,
You
and
know what I
I've
mean?
been
Like when it
to-
comes to the production and shit,
Yeah.
they're trying to take care of Falling in Reverse. They're trying to take care of fucking, Icy Stars, Ice Nine Kills. You know what I
I
mean? All my
played
favorite
Warped Tour
bands.
1 year, and also I used to go every year on Warped Tour as a promoter. They give me a promoter pass, and I'd be able to go all access.
Oh yeah,
for
there were tons
free.
of people like that.
That's how I've
bands
eaten-
were
that's how
selling
I've eaten
CDs
the,
outside of the tour all day.
That's how I've
every
had
day.
the
Hi,
catering.
that was me.
I had the
That's
catering.
why that was me.
I had the catering because I had the all access, and it allowed me to go down and get food, but I had to pay
Yeah.
for it.
Oh yeah, see ours they
It
would.
was good. It was good.
Oh, it was amazing, dude. They would just scan your pass and then go get your meal. You know what I mean?
I noticed that I remember getting food. I remember people looked like band members. And I just didn't. I was young and I just didn't know. And when I started promoting, I didn't know many people.
There
So
was,
there probably was band members serving food.
Oh,
I didn't
definitely,
even know.
definitely.
I didn't even realize it.
We did one show at Darien Lake, which was the Warp date, and it was connected to a theme park, so we got to go on every roller
That's
coaster.
amazing.
hell
What a
yeah.
night.
Free.
All right, let's save some for the
Yeah,
next
we'll-
one.
I'll tell you.
we'll save
There's-
those.
I'll tell you, there's 2 bands in local, local bands that I constantly wait for that one-off reunion show, and it's Scare Don't Fear and friggin' Trophy Wives.
Oh,
I'm waiting
definitely.
I'm waiting for
definitely.
the friggin' one-off.
See,
What
the
about
thing,
both at the same time?
Well, we could do. I mean, that'd be fine. That'd be
the
fine.
thing with that was, I don't know if you guys saw the post recently. I put feelers out there.
I did see
on
that
Facebook.
I did see that. Yeah.
It blew the fuck up.
I know.
All right, I'm not going to go into too many details on that, but we will just say we could not all come to an agreement.
Oh,
So, you know what I mean? It wasn't just one person, wasn't, you know what I mean? I still want it, and I'll still push for it, because the day that happens, it will draw. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But just not at this time.
Fair.
That's all I can say. Go
Fair.
listen to From the Ground Up. Go listen to Blinded. Go listen to Pick Up the Patterns.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'll scan my
Listen-
CD. You can pirate it from my fucking copy.
Yeah, right? I don't even have a copy.
Sorry, I don't copy my first record either.
Yeah, I buried my dad with a copy of Blinded, though.
Hell yeah.
I did that.
Hell yeah, that rocks.
Yep. And I'm on the cover, man. You know what I mean? We did that. Yeah, shout out to Mighty Fall, man. Thanks for having me.
Dude,
I
thanks
really
for being here.
appreciate it.
Anytime.
Always a pleasure, buddy.
Absolutely, man.
Good to see you. Thanks for hanging.
Yeah. We
Yeah,
all
thanks
go
for
way
honking.
back.
Thanks for honking.
We'll do it again. We'll do it again.
Yeah,
We have to
we'll
do
be
it
doing
again
this
for sure.
again. And as for the rest of you, well, we'll see you in hell.